Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gilded Flask, where adventure is never far. And boy, we missed you. We've been gone for 1 week because, well, we were gone for 1 week, and we missed you guys. We missed D&D. We're glad to be back. Hello, my name is Barry, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this session, and I'm joined by three wonderful people. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Anne. I play Kala Lalakat, the Inquisitive College of Spirits Bard.
Well, I'm Daniel. I'm playing John Varenthal, the fairly conflicted Paladin of Midnight. Human Paladin of Midnight.
And I'm Marissa. I play Casariel, the beautiful and dark ASMR cleric.
If you have never visited our place before, then you're doing something wrong, but you're still welcome. We post weekly recordings of our D&D sessions on YouTube, and as you might notice if you're with us right now, we also stream live on Twitch, and we're having fun doing that. If you're curious about Twitch, if you're curious about YouTube, or if you're curious about all our other social media outlets that we have, go ahead and visit thegildedflask.com for all our outlets, and please support us on all those platforms. As we continue to play this story and have fun, we are also still looking for sponsors, so if there are any out there, we're here for you. But in lieu of those sponsors, we do have a couple of awesome people to shout out, and those are, in no particular order, D. Chandra and Paradox for creating the amazing character art that we have on our tokens. Pyram King, James RPG Art, and DM Andy for the wonderful, wonderful maps and content that we're allowed to use. In the Curse of Strahd, Tabletop Audio, Scott Buckley, Phoenix Music, and Alexander Nakarada for the great musical scores that we have in the background, and so many more. Thank you so much for your contributions. And with that, let's head into the tale.
Tell me, do you like ghost stories? I've been investigating people vanishing mysteriously into the night, never to return. It looks like I've found out where they've been.
Good evening.
I don't like this place. The air feels heavier.
Did you hear that?
What do you mean he's watching?
In this place, nothing is what it seems.
We come from an ancient land.
There's no time for this. What are you looking for?
This place has taken my father and my mother. It will not have me.
We gotta move, now!
Oh, I do love a good mystery.
Barovia is mine, and so are you.
Great intro. Great intro. I know I say this every single time. This is episode 14, I believe. And this is just going to be a thing until the very final episode. I love this intro.
It's
Marissa,
the thing that I brag about whenever I'm part of a production that actually did this intro, like Marissa, who is on our team. Holy crap. Like, this is the most highly produced thing I've ever been part of.
As a matter of fact, I have a couple of colleagues that are starting to get interested in D&D now. The first thing I showed them was like, look at this. Do you like this? This is our intro. So we're totally not very proud of this. So Marissa, you did such a good job. Lovely intro. So what did we do last time? One thing I have to still add in, at the end of last session, what I forgot to mention is that you guys went to sleep and leveled up to level 5. So you guys are level 5 now.
I think we started off in a very grave situation last time.
Yes. So last time you started off with an issue with the church. The church was missing a skull of a very important saint, and they needed it back for a certain feast that was going to happen in a couple of days. So you guys looked far and wide for that and found a potential place where that might have been hidden at a coffin maker's shop. And Carla, being the inquisitive mind that she is, went upstairs to have a look where that skull might have been, opened up a crate, and found a whole bunch of vampire spawns ready and waiting, who damn near killed her and the rest of the party along with it. That was very tense. But you
Thankfully,
managed
the Castarial clutch is always good.
The
Yeah,
bursting
that's gonna
through
be
the
a turn.
floor is like she's Supermaning through the floor. Ah! Oh,
No.
amazing.
I actually have a note here that says John's used smite for 48 points of damage.
True.
Yeah,
Level 4.
I dispatched one of them, but there was somebody in there who did something that made 3 of them run away in terror. So that was pretty cool.
There's
Yeah, you burst through the floor. And then you did turn evil and good, and which was the right thing to do. It was so a little bit of luck on your side, but the party managed to survive. You didn't kill all of them, but at least you made them run away, and you killed quite a few of them, like about half of them. 3 or 4 you killed.
I think
3.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Oh yeah, and 3 ran away.
Yeah.
So that was it.
There's a pile of barbarian left, and a fighter that just got
Conveniently in a coffin shop.
yeah, prepackaged.
Anyways, we keep interrupting. I'm so sorry. We haven't done this for a week.
Oh, this is fantastic.
We're having fun. So you managed to also find the skull, because the skull was indeed there. You brought it back to the church, which has been reconsecrated thanks to your efforts, and most probably a lot safer than it was in this world. You let the good father of the church take a quick look at John's weapon, which produced a cloud of black smoke and some harsh wording about the fact that he should sod off. So that was a thing. And you decided to visit Vasili afterwards, because the next day you should probably accompany him and Irena to Kresk, as you agreed upon. So you visited them. You had dinner with them. You gave Vasili a silver table knife, because that's the thing you do. You
Gracious
bring a
host.
gift. Yeah, you bring a gift for a gracious host. And you decided to go upstairs and sleep, which is where you leveled up. And I believe that is where we left off last time.
We did also find out that Irena is somewhat more skilled than she lets on.
True. Irena can actually handle a weapon. She's not just a damsel in distress. Very good point. All right. That is indeed where we left off. And let me just quickly switch over to the bedrooms upstairs in Vasili's house. I don't know if you have, but I think you did. But you can, of course, apply your long rest, and you have applied your level ups. Before we start, one more thing is, now that you are level 5, what did you apply?
Is John rotated slightly? Can I rotate the character icon? He's rotated just slightly counterclockwise.
I see. Wow.
That burns my OCD.
Hang on, I'll fix that. I'll fix that.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, we can talk about our level ups first.
Fixed.
Ladies first. Thank you.
I like to imagine he's lying that way across the bed, so that Castarial has more room.
Well, I think basically they were laying in bed, and Castarial probably was doing night terrors or something, and just shoved him out of bed, and he didn't even wake up.
Yep.
He's like partially off the bed.
No, you tell your one first, and me and Marissa will get to ours.
All right, me.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
What did you pick for your level 5?
John leveled up, and he's taken a 3rd level in Hexblade Warlock as the curse of this weapon takes a deeper hold upon him. Now that he knows it's cursed, now that everyone knows it's cursed, he still clings to the idea that this makes him feel more powerful, more confident, and this is a very dangerous land. So he's deepened his connection with this maul. So what he has taken is he's lost, I believe, a level 1 spell that was a close range Arms of Hadar, and he's picked up both Misty Step. So now we have a Porta-John, as it were, and Hold Person. He can he can summon the power of the skulls to induce a fear so deep that someone cannot move. As well as gaining an invocation of improved pact weapon. So all those times I've been missing are a thing of the past. I'll now be missing slightly less, by slightly less. So yes, very good stuff.
So Misty Step and Hold Person, that is quite literally just jumping towards someone and be like, hang on a minute. That's cool.
Stop right there, criminal scum. And then one last thing, he now has Pact of the Blade, so if someone tries to disarm him of this weapon, he cannot be disarmed. He can resummon it at will. So
Cool.
Something.
All right.
Carla at level 5 has the ability now to tell you a little bit more of her tales, as I've gained a D8 with my Bardic Inspiration. I also regain all of my Bardic Inspiration slots for every short rest that I have, which is great. She just can recall them a little bit better now that she's no longer feeling so perilous here and a little bit more at home in this weird situation. One thing that she has also done is she's been thinking about all of the spells that she uses and all of the people that are in Barovia and how they are a little bit of a step up from what she's used to in Neverwinter, as they've been living in these dire situations. So it's going to take a lot more to get her spells to effect, to get them down a peg. So she's decided to bestow curse on all of them. So yes, I have bestow curse now, which leads very nicely into Casariel's, which is...
Well, Casariel's a cleric, and clerics get access to all of the spells that are available to them, and I get to choose every morning. However, one of the spells that I get to choose is Remove Curse.
I love it.
So John's in big trouble.
Yeah, John's not going to be happy with that, but this is cool. I'm very excited to see how these play out.
If third level spell slots weren't so precious as they are right now, I feel like that would be the first thing we'd both do, but
yeah,
I'm going to hang on to mine.
Yeah. Soon they won't be so precious.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes before bed, if you have one to burn, you can just, start slinging curses out. Carla.
Vasili is going to be living in terror on the road.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Lord.
Also, I gained the ability to revive my companions if they die in battle within a minute. So, only problem with that is that we have to find a diamond specifically, worth 300 gold. So, don't die just yet.
Or more, of course, like specifically 300.
Or more, yeah.
So, how does that work? Is it like you trap a piece of everyone's soul in it so that you can get them back up when they fall down?
Like a soul stone.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to interpretation, right? That's a very cool interpretation.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, there's another one where it's like contingency. Oh no, that's not the same. But anyway.
I think the smell of the diamond will wake Carla up, as she's a business person. But anyways, digress.
So you sleep through the night, and it is a relatively comfortable sleep, even though you sleep under Vasili's roof, which might be your best option at this point. Within the party, I have, as a DM, noticed a little animosity, but it is your best bet at the moment, and you sleep rather well. The beds are godly; they're really great. Carla, you basically slept in a pile of pillows. Honestly, not undercutting the beds. It's great. You slept so well. All three of you had very pleasant dreams as well. Maybe partially due to the fact that you did something right, returning the bones to the church. That's a good feeling. And that might have definitely weighed in with this. You rise to, surprisingly, another drab morning with mist and rain. The town, of course, not being engulfed in mist, but around the town, status quo, nothing's changed. You wake to the sound of rain droplets falling on the rooftop. Casariel, waking up, you feel like you slept rather well, and you feel slightly more powerful. You have leveled up. Carla, John, you feel equally like invigorated and slightly more powerful than you did yesterday. The only thing is, you also feel kind of peckish. You're hungry.
Immediately reach into
some breakfast.
Immediately reach into the backpack.
Yep. You really want to have some pie. Do you eat it?
Midway
I'm gonna
through.
try not to. Sorry.
Yeah, I eat a pie.
You eat a pie. Okay. Carla?
Carla's going to look at it and feel that hole, and then she's going to try and pull back. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try and pull back because that's profit.
Okay.
That's not pie, that's profit.
Roll me a d20.
Okay. 13.
Okay.
Plus whatever.
Like, it's just one. You can live. You'll eat it.
Snack away at it then. I'll make money somewhere else, somehow.
For both of you, disregarding the disadvantages that you had last time from waking up, those do no longer apply because you've had your long rest. John, roll me 2d4.
Alrighty. Let's go with a metal and a plastic. I got 3 and a 2. Yeah, 3 and 2.
Okay. You can subtract that from your max HP for today.
I can? Awesome.
Yeah. Additionally,
yeah. Oh no.
It's just about the worst word in D&D. Additionally, your strength is reduced by 2 today.
Okay, so does that stack with my previous reductions of both strength, constitution, and health?
No, those are all basically reset. So if it's already -2, it's still -2.
Okay, thank God.
And the rest, all the other things do not apply today.
Fantastic. So I'm actually better off than I was yesterday, is what I'm hearing. So -2 for strength, constitution is back to 0, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Carla, you feel slightly more feeble today, and while you feel invigorated and healthy, you have a feeling that today's just not going to be your day attack-wise. You get a -1 on all your attack rolls.
Oh, no.
Take it. I'm taking. Which attacking do I do? Let's be real.
Okay, yeah.
I'm more
most of yours
cautious
are
after my
saving throws and
fight.
stuff. Okay, yeah.
That's all that's happening. I just don't feel too up to fighting after,
Actually,
5
yeah.
vampires.
A little shaken from yesterday.
Yeah.
That's all. No suspicious reason why.
I have something I would like to do, if I may. Casariel, before the dawn, before the sun rises, I'd like her to wake up and take with her the amulet of the Lathander, the Morning Lord, and also the spellbook, or not spellbook, I'm sorry, the prayer book that she got from the church, the original, first church they're in. She is going to go into the town and just find a place where she can see, sort of out of the way, where she can see the sunrise. And she's going to just quietly to herself say some of the prayers. And she's really trying to understand her father, and understand the Morning Lord, and understand and really just kind of see if anything is speaking to her, because she believes so strongly and she's so close with her mother. She doesn't know much about her father except for what her mother has told her. But she knows that he's here, either dead or alive, and really wants to try to make some sort of connection with him if she can.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
4.
Even though it is a very gray day today, and you can't really see the sunrise, you have the luck that through the clouds. The clouds themselves, even though they are completely covering the skies, they are a little thin today. Through the clouds, you can see the sunrise. So it is there. You can do what you just described, but it's not a, beautiful morning. Not at all. It's just another day in paradise,
Yeah.
But you can see it. Sure.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So she'll spend the whole kind of sunrise just saying prayers and just trying to make some sort of connection with this amulet that she's got. And then when that's all done, she'll just head back inside.
All right.
So do you arrive back before John wakes up, and like, are we in the same room again?
Would he have woken up before this, like right after the sunrise? You think, or
if I were projecting onto him, I would say hell no. But no, he's
I think
probably
he would smack the pie out of his hand if she was in the room when he tried to eat it. So probably by the time she came back, he already ate it.
So yeah, I imagine they're actually like he's walking downstairs eating the pie as you're walking in, kind of deal. And
John, no. And I'm gonna try to grab the pie.
I was hungry. It's almost done. You might grab the tin or whatever.
Pies.
They're so good. Never had anything this good. All the other places, everything is just horrible.
And I'm gonna Carla, and so I'm gonna run up and try to save Carla from the same fate.
Carla's like already walking out. You can see like the crumbs on her cheeks.
Of a lady, you two.
Listen. I don't want to, but after my fight yesterday, do I not deserve a treat? Do we not?
John just like pointing her exactly.
You did so well. Maybe you deserve a treat. Maybe you would like one, or we could buy you something shiny.
Don't you tempt me with that. Don't you tempt me with it. I'm gonna hold up the symbol of Lathander. It's like
fine. We're actually. He's gonna look into his pack and he goes, "We're running kind of low, or should we?"
How many are left?
Throw them away. Yes.
Between the two of us, only 13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe we should go back. Maybe we should go back and get more, because that's an awfully low number.
Yes. Well, is there any way? Could we have them? Can we signal to them to send some to us?
Maybe there's a way we could circle. No, because the whole point is they can't get things out, but we can get things out for them. Maybe we could do like a circle.
I can help you. I believe.
Yes.
I've been reading this book. Do you know the one that we got from the church in Barovia? I think I can send a message to them and have them bring us more pie in Kresk or wherever we're going. Right?
Oh, isn't that like a little far for them? Like that's the whole reason we are doing this. Again, like we are a delivery service. But we could like circle around on the way.
Because we shouldn't eat any more fucking pie. The pie is bad for you.
Is it showing? And she kind of like looks down at her tummy a little bit, like it's showing.
You look fine.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Just when I ate it last, I felt
exhilarated, delicious.
No, double no, both no things. I felt terrible.
Maybe they're going sour. It has been a few days.
Haven't you noticed the face that everyone makes when we tell them about these pies?
Yes, one of delight and, cha-ching for us. That's great.
We sold some to the guard. We gave some to the toy maker.
Right.
There was a noble that bought a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah. Wait, there was?
He sure did. Oh, yeah.
No,
Carlos
John
scammed
doesn't
him
know
out
about
money.
that still.
We should go find him and sell him the rest of them. I'm sure he'll want them.
Oh, you keep a few.
Take all that money.
The money, the profit is... But there might be more rich people in Kresk.
Exactly. We should save them. And nibble a few on the way.
But again, we could also circle... I mean, is there not a reason to circle back? We do... The pie... The people who create the pies are very near that place where all that gold was. We could pop down, get the rest of it, circle over to them, and then head off towards Kresk. We have a free day now that we've decided to leave early. Why not?
Are you guys still tired? Never mind, go on.
I'm just going to stare at John.
Sorry. The beds
Getting
were very
tired?
nice.
Not great?
No,
Lackluster?
I don't know if it's something in the air or the beds. Maybe it's a bit softer than I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
Feel pretty tired.
Didn't we tell them we would take them to Kresk today, or is that tomorrow?
It's
And right as you
technically
say
tomorrow,
that,
but
the doors to their bedroom open up. And you see Vasili and Irena stepping outside, and they look like they slept well. But they seem... Irena seems like she slept rather well. Vasili looks like he slept rather well, but he looks annoyed. Morning.
You have excellent
Good morning.
beds.
Yes, I know.
I hope you didn't mind the piano playing last night.
I figured that was you.
I was not with you. You seem grumpy.
Working on
Do you have any food? Are we having breakfast?
Oh, yes. Let's head downstairs. We can fashion something.
Sean just immediately heads
What
downstairs.
was that? Caesarea? What was your name again?
I was just asking you what's wrong with you because you seem really grumpy and off-putting, more so than usual, which is
I'm not a morning person. Haven't had my coffee. Just
Yes, you head all down. I'm just going to pick up a couple things from my room and I'll meet you down there.
yes. Let's.
As they all go down, I'm absolutely going to wait until they're down.
I'm just going to stare at you.
His room. I'm going to go into Vasili's room really quietly and carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why am I totally not surprised by this?
John's sitting at the table downstairs holding a knife and a fork.
I hold open the door for her and I'm like,
Wait, they're going to notice if we're both gone. Message me if you need me. Message me if you need me, okay?
you don't want to snoop?
Of course I do, but they're going to notice if we're both gone.
All right, go on, go. Be my lookout. Say that you're just waiting for me. So if they're like, where are you? She's like, oh, she's just gone to the bathroom or something. Do that, yes.
Yeah, message me every, now and then. Otherwise I won't be able to tell you unless I just smash something against the wall, which would be fun, so I will do that. I'll smash something against the wall if they're coming. Great.
Okay. I'm going to immediately go for anything that looks interesting.
You're doing it
there's a key?
hastily.
Yeah.
You're doing it hastily, but still, I will. Those are just the house keys. I will let you do a investigation check.
Looking for something juicy. Okay, that's that plus what? 18. Got a 10.
Nice. That's what you get for making an investigation character. Yeah, there is an opened letter on the nightstand that you would assume is the nightstand of Vasili.
Hmm. And what does it say?
Do you want to read it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I'll snatch it up
I figured as much, but so the letter is sent from the Kresk Burgomaster, and it says, "My dear Sir Van Holtz, I would be most happy to entertain your presence once again. It is good to meet with you. It has been quite a while. I am glad to hear that you are still around, and you and your company are more than welcome to grace our town. I hope to see you within a few days. Regards, Burgomaster Kresk."
Okay. Now, does this man have any money lying around? Up here.
Cool information. Money?
Sure.
Knowing that he's
There's a
close to him, I took a note, but yeah.
There's a small leather pouch also on his nightstand that you find alongside with the letter. It contains 28 gold.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to take the gold out and replace it with... We bought some,
Marbles.
Oh, no, we didn't. bought some like marbles, yeah?
We have a bag of marbles that, had
Yeah,
some
I'm gonna take-
oddness to it.
It's ball bearings, yeah.
Oh, bar bunks.
Yeah, I'm gonna. We also bought ball bearings. I'm gonna actually take some of the marbles because it's an endless pouch of marbles. I'm gonna take like a handful of them and chuck them in instead of the leather pouch. Just transferring over the gold to mine and just putting the marbles in his.
Oh my god.
So nothing like
Just-
so out of
Give
place.
Carla an endless pouch of fake gold replacement.
All right. Cool. You can, and you do. Carla.
Well, 28 gold,
As you
yeah.
28 gold. As you transfer over the gold, as you take the gold, your eye catches one peculiar detail of
Which
the gold
is?
coins, which is the portrait on the gold. It has a portrait on it. On one side, it just has a whole bunch of hullabaloo and just a little like picture of a tree. But on the other side, it has a portrait, which is unmistakably a portrait of Strahd.
It's on his money.
It's like,
Wild.
like the side view, like like all monarchs have like their face on the coin, just the side view. So it's
I'm gonna
technically
look at it a
portrait.
little bit and put it into my pouch.
Sure.
Pouch. Yes, there we go.
Otherwise, like size, weight, shape wise, this is unmistakably a gold coin. It's just local currency apparently.
Fab. Okay, sufficiently happy with my collection. I'm going to skip on out to Casario, all nice and happy.
Wonderful. I would say that you guys are roughly still, yeah.
I went down before everyone. I wanted to be at the table holding a knife and a fork, be like, and
Pancakes.
I was promised bacon.
Which is what you smell coming from the kitchen as Bram opens up the door and comes out and he says, breakfast for 4, and he sees Carla coming down the stairs. 5 it is. All right. Right?
Sure.
Yes.
Is that for me?
All right. I'll be right out, he says, and he goes back into the kitchen. All right, says Vasili. No time like the present. That's it. Irena, are you joining us? And she does.
John's gonna lean over to Carla and be like, still hungry, but we don't have that many pies left, so I'm gonna try to ration them. This bacon should be good.
Yeah, that would be good. We're rationing them for customers, right? Not you. You can right now. Look at me. Look at me. Right now.
Yes.
Pick a number between 1 and 10. Too high for you?
4.
Perfect. That's the amount you're allowed to have. The rest of it is profit. So take 4 out. Those are yours. You have to ration those for yourself. The rest of it, give to me.
Fine. I give her all but 4 of
I'll
my
take
pies.
9 pies. I
Right.
think it's 4.
Those 4 are the last ones that actually have chicken in them, so you're lucky.
Yes. Okay. The meat and vegetable pies. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So while that's going on, my passive insight is now 17.
Holy
I
shit.
Wow.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I would like to look
Oh.
between Irena and Vasili and see if I notice any suspicious.
On a passive insight of 17, holy shit. Like, that's like, I'm going to have to rewrite the campaign at this point. Oh, fuck.
Hey, don't
That's
worry.
something I didn't take into account. Hang on.
My passive insight is 10, so you're good.
Oh, 17. Okay, that's fun. Like,
Like Caduceus.
because you've been around the block a couple of times. Like, you've been in the military.
Oh, yeah.
You've been in the military.
Right.
You've been surrounded by men. You've been surrounded by women. You've seen how men and women interact in various situations. There are certain telltale signs of certain things happening between certain people. There's a certain look of glee between people where you're like, oh yeah, okay. There's a certain look of anger when you're like, oh, okay. This is also one of those telltale kind of faces. Irena is looking rather neutral. Vasili is looking rather annoyed. With your passive 17, you can sort of deduct that Vasili might not have gotten everything out of his good night's sleep that he would have wanted, whereas Irena kind of did.
That can mean a lot of things, but we're just gonna
Yeah.
stick to good job, Irena. Respect, sister.
I can smell
And that makes
it.
Casariel very happy. Like the thought of anything vexing Vasili makes her. She's like giddy, and she never.
This poor
is
man.
smiling. No, she's like uncharacteristically after noticing that, like happy, smiling. I think
Love it.
today's going to be a very good day. I can tell already. Don't you think so?
Carla
And
with 28 gold in her pocket is like, yes, I do think so.
John, looking somewhat disgruntled, is like, the bacon's already cooked. Why hasn't he just brought some out already?
Irena chimes in and she says, I think so. While it's still hard to leave my home behind, I think I'm happy to get it over with and start anew. So today will be a good day. Right, Vasili? And Vasili doesn't even look up. He's just looking at his mug of coffee. Yeah,
I look at Carla.
I guess. The door opens behind you, Casariel, and Bram brings out a Barovian equivalent of a full English with bacon, with sausages.
Full Barovian.
Barovia?
A Barovian breakfast.
Full Barovian. But let's think of one thing that is different, like because it's a drab country.
Wolf,
like
wolf meat.
Wolf meat sausages. Yeah, that's full Barovian.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep, there we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and everything was like grayish. That's
Yeah,
the color
the
to
extra
it.
gray.
Appetizing. But that's just English breakfasts anyway.
John casts a sidelong glance at the pack containing 4 pies and starts eating the gray food.
It tastes pretty good.
All right, so what's the plan for today? Are we when would it be best to leave and be on the road?
I'd say, Vasili says, traveling during the day is advantageous. We still have a bit of a journey ahead of us, but if we're lucky, we should be able to get to Kresk by nightfall. It's a one-day trip.
Oh, that's not that long.
It isn't, but it is not the safest road out there. I'm not expecting anything, but in case we do run into something,
Are we traveling on
Oh.
foot or by horse?
On
Sorry,
foot.
didn't mean to interrupt. Oh. Okay.
Um,
Anyways, go on.
if we do run into something, I hope I can trust that you know what to do, right?
Kill it?
Well, depending on what we're running into, of course.
Of course, yes.
I mean, we didn't survive vampires last night, so I think we'll be okay, hopefully.
You see him perk up at that. Excuse
We
me?
told you, remember? We told you about that. We fought off vampires, that's why we're leaving early today.
Yeah, we're a bunch of vampires and the coffin makers.
Yes, you did. Sorry.
You're really not a morning person at all.
No, I'm sorry. I'm such a terrible host. I'm glad Bram is here to at least give you something to eat. I'm sorry. Once I'm through the morning, I'm usually a lot more human. Right now, I just need my coffee. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. When he says not
Interesting
more
choice of
human, she
word.
just looks right at Casario.
Irena says, so I suppose you've never seen Kresk, but I do have to say, while the village of Kresk is not all that spectacular, the abbey that the village is attached to really is. And the village itself is special in this region for one very interesting reason. I don't know if you've heard this before, but Kresk is, given a few exceptions, a self-sustaining village. They don't have to go outside of the city walls for firewood because they grow their own trees. Most, if not all, of the food that they need is grown within inside the village walls. The only thing really that they import is wine. They can't grow it over there, so they import it from the Wizard of Wines. They don't need anything else. Anything else that they do get in is luxury, but they can sustain themselves. So if they would ever get into an issue, they just close the doors. They should be fine. Even if that would become a problem, they still have the Abbey. Thinking of an abbey, you'd say that, like, that's a church, right? A little bigger church. But honestly, other than, the other castle, the abbey is the closest thing that you can get to a castle that is, still manned and looked after. I have to
It's
say,
armed.
Hmm?
It's armed, like it has military at it, like perhaps paladins, such as your father was.
There's no active paladins on guard duty in the abbey, from what I know. I do believe they do have paladins still in service. There's clergy. The abbot is there that looks over the abbey. And honestly, if there is one place of radiance in this land, it has to be the abbey. And for that reason, I am looking forward to going there.
Are you strong faith? Do you believe very deeply in the Morning Lord, Irena?
I have my moments of weakness. The situation with my brother was a testing moment, but I do believe that ultimately the Morning Lord will be an answer to our problems. Yes.
That we're taking you somewhere then that inspires your faith.
I think so.
And then in Casariel's head she hears, self-sustaining village is usually quite good, but in this place it could mean it's perhaps a cult if they don't want anyone from the outside in. But it's, in my past experience, that's what I've noticed. But just keep that in mind. Be wary.
As she says that to Casariel, John says out loud, it's good to have a bit of faith, a bit of something to build off of. And yes, being with these people will probably do you good.
It is typical where we come from for castles to be turned into religious houses of some sort or another. Do you know what it was before it was the abbey?
Oh, it always was an abbey. It's just been constructed very rigorously with walls and whatnot to provide sort of a bastion for people to seek refuge in times of need. Do mind, the abbey is hundreds of years old. So it just served a purpose more than just a place of worship. It is quite literally a place that saves people. And I think the walls have just been standing. The fact that the walls still have been standing after those hundreds of years is a testament to the fact that it works.
Hey, hundreds of years ago it was constructed, and it has won battle. Are there many big battles that have happened in Barovia, notable ones, even recent? Or has this land been fairly, quiet under the rule of Strahd?
Under the rule of Strahd, it's been, in terms of battle, it's been relatively quiet. Of course, things happen. The very reason that I am now on the road to find, a new home,
Yes.
should speak volumes of that. But if we're talking war, we haven't had war since Strahd has come to power. Of course, before that there are stories, but in recent years we haven't had any wars or major escalations in the region. No.
Do you happen to know how long he's been in power?
Well, at least longer than I've been alive. This is something up for debate, and maybe Vasili can chime in with that. But I believe that he's been in power for a very long time, longer than most people might think. So one would say maybe that's like maybe 100 years, but you've seen him, right? He looks like a man in his 30s or 40s.
Young looking, so fresh-faced for someone who's ruling a land. Usually they look haggard at this point. But
Exactly, and especially if they're 100 years or more. So I honestly,
I am
it's
100
longer than I've been
years.
around.
I'm 100 years old and I don't look it, so it might be one of those sort of things.
Is it possible his father looked very, very much like him?
Vasili answers that question. He says, as a matter of fact, nobody knows what his father looked like. His father and mother have never been to these lands. He came here, and as the story goes, he came here to conquer this land to prove to his parents that he was fit to rule. And as a gift to his parents, he constructed a castle, and he wanted his parents to come and visit him. But they never did. The reason why, I don't know, but that's how the story goes.
What I mean is, if he's been around for so long, is it possible he's actually Strahd the 4th or 5th, and his father looked very similar to him, and so on?
That's actually not a... They would have had to look very similar, though, John.
I mean, he's holed up in that castle so far away, it'd be... I don't know. Just seems like a rather long time. You're
It's not
over
impossible.
100 years old? He looks over at Carla. It's just clicked.
Yes, I'm 103.
Huh.
Yes. Oh, for halflings, it's like...
He turns back to his food and said, you'd think someone would learn to fight better in that time.
I've spent that time pursuing intellectual, desires. Think of a number between 1 and 10, which says to be antagonistic. Anyways, wonderful mind exercise.
6.
Good theory, but it took you too long. But will we hit the road, or will we make a solid plan? Are we just going to go straight for Kresk? Because we do have a couple things on our agenda if we want to do a little circle of...
If you want to make it before nightfall, I would suggest we have to hit the road after breakfast, and we have to keep the pace if we want to reach it before nightfall. And while traveling in the night is not impossible, it is ill-advised. So I'd prefer to be there before the sun goes down. What would be your detour?
I go over to the Will Mill to pick up more pies.
Yep. Important
There's
business.
backtracking.
I don't think we've got time. I hate it as well, unfortunately.
Once Irena is safe in the Abbey, I fully intend to go back to here, to my house, and pick up my business again. I've cleared my schedule for quite a time, but at some point I do need to get back to it. You're more than welcome to accompany me, or not if you do not wish to, back to Vallaki and then go on your way. I wouldn't want to keep you any longer than is absolutely necessary, of course.
That sounds agreeable.
We have to head
Should
that
we
way
hit the
anyway.
road?
Go to the wine, to go to the Wizard of Wines. I think that's... have 4 pies. It's 1 pie to get there, 1 pie. I can probably make that work.
I just got this visual of like this little pie went to the market. I'm sorry, that was just.
got 4 pies. I'm using it.
Well, shall we head out to Kresk then?
Ooh.
Yes.
Are you
if
gonna
you
finish the rest
are,
of your sausage, Carla?
if you are all ready, then
Oh no, not at
head
all.
out.
Take it.
We're ready.
All right.
Just
You make
before we
your-
go, sorry.
Yep. No, go ahead.
Before we go, the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to scribble in illusory script a warning about the vampires, and I'm going to make it look like anyone who's looking at it is looking at like an advertisement for the jamboree. It's a little like all over the place and looks a little chaotic, but it would fit in with the vibe of what that is. But when you actually read it, like it would say the people that are allowed to read it, which I have made sort of like in the conditions, you know, like
A short
and
list.
or yeah, I think what I've done has been like Carla has tried to imbue like the energy of the person who can't read it. She's focusing on that, on who gets the jamboree as opposed to who gets the actual script, and that would be the Burgermeister and the man with the one arm, the like weird arm. They can't read this, but everyone else would be able to read a warning about the vampires that are out. Is that too much? I know that's pushing the limits of the spell a little bit, but
I like the rule of cool, and I like this actually. So I'll let the dice decide.
Ooh.
The dice agree with you today. You can.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool
so
idea. I like that.
So I do that just to warn the common folk that there is a danger on the loose, but the people who might not want that danger to be known are sufficiently tricked.
If your average standard of living is below this line, you
Yeah, basically, it's like like minimum wage. What's your wage per
Wow,
week?
okay.
Then you can read this. Yeah, that's what I do, and I take that and I put that up as we're kind of passing out of the town center. Up there, that's where I tack it amongst
Note
all
to
the
self,
others.
and now I need to actually make economics for this town to be able to actually like calculate who can read this and whatnot. Holy shit!
Make your DM suffer.
like looking around at the extravagance in Vasili's house, he definitely isn't on that list.
No, he
No.
sees me just like
No.
really advertising this jamboree.
Other than like the Burgermeister and the odd house that you've seen around town here and there, his house is probably among like the 10 biggest buildings in the city, disregarding the church and whatnot, but like houses. No, he's fine, and he's probably not on the list. No. All right.
The man has
Anything
3
else you guys
beds.
want to do before you get on the road?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do within Vallaki before you get on the road? This is your
I don't really think we have the
One.
gold to do some of the things that we want to do.
Oh my. No, let's quickly skip.
Well,
We have
plate
a
mail
we
is
have a
very
healing
expensive.
potion, right? Somebody does.
We have 3.
Okay.
I think everyone has one, right?
Yeah.
Of what?
Healing potion?
potions.
I do not have a potion of healing.
I don't either.
I know we bought one out of our own pocket, and then we bought then we made someone give us the money for another one. So I think we've got 2, but I think I'm holding on to
Vasili give Vasili
used-
gave us.
You used
We
one.
used
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah, you used one
Okay,
during
good to
the vampire fight. So that you still
Okay.
have one.
Okay, so you got one, Carla. Cool. I think
And
everybody
does
has,
everyone still have the ones that they would have gotten from the death house? Yeah, or because I think only Casariel used hers.
Yeah, I don't have any.
I don't either.
Okay.
Yep. So you should have 1 or 2. That should be fine.
Cool.
Okay, dokie. You guys are gonna go on the road. Just want to make sure that the map is loaded.
It's loading. Yes, it's loaded. Yes. Fine. I'll do the thing where I zoom in.
Traveling back on the old Swanage Road, Vasili tells you that there's only one way to Kresk, and it's just following the main road all the way until you actually reach the town. It should be easily spotted once you have crossed the rivers. There are a couple of side tracks here and there, but he says that you should not delay and just keep to the road.
I
He
think
asks you to take charge. What do you do?
if Casariel's on the same page, I think Casariel and John would essentially take like flanking forward positions, just keeping their eyes on the tree line, making sure no wolves are coming out and stuff like that. But with the three of them sort of taking up the inner, being able to talk, doing, because we've done guard duty before, and this is very similar to that.
Yep.
So we'll start walking down the trail. It's easy, one way.
All right.
Just as we're passing, Carla is going to note anything that's not on the map and kind of stick it in when she can.
Okay. You move down the road, and you're in the thick of the woods over here. Moving a little further, you come close to a river where a bridge crosses the stream. The bridge itself is an old stone bridge, which seems to be doing fine service. It seems to be the only way to get across this river. It is not a very wide river, but it's a very strongly flowing one. This is one of those rivers that if you try to probably cross it like on foot, it'll sweep you away unless you're very lucky. Which makes this bridge rather important. And I totally forgot to add your tokens here. Oh my. Let me add everyone else in as well.
John, that river, moving very fast.
Yeah. I think let's check it out before we actually cross. Let's just, make sure it's sturdy enough.
There you go.
I'll take some rope out of my pack and hand it to him.
All right.
Do you want to cross, or should I?
I think it might be easier to catch you because if you have, can fly. What?
Right,
So just to clarify, were you suggesting you walk across and have the length of rope just in case? Like tie
now
around
that I
your...
see the bridge, I don't know if that's entirely necessary because it looks pretty sturdy, but sure.
Yeah. Well,
I was actually just trying to give Papa some time.
Oh, okay. So first of all, I think like walking up to the edge, staying about 5 feet away from the edge, and just like peering down, judging the distance, taking a look at the bridge, and just seeing the supports. Do all the supports look sturdy? Do they look rickety? Does it look like aged?
It definitely looks aged. Like, if you'd have to put a number on this, it is anywhere from a couple of 100 years old to maybe even more. This is an old bridge, which is testament to its sturdiness, because it's been around, and this river has been around for a little while as well. The river itself isn't all that deep, but it isn't level with you guys. It is a little ways downward. It would be a fall if you would, like, go on the sides. As you can see, there's like a little drop off. But looking at the support and whatnot of the bridge, it's like, off the cuff, there's nothing that concerns you about this bridge.
All right. How far was the water down again? I missed that. Like,
I'd say like 5 or 6 feet. Like, it's not too far, but there's a bit of a drop.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just gonna look back at Vasili. Is this is a path? Can I move my character forward?
Oh, sorry, I still paused.
So
my bad. Yes.
So he's gonna be about right here, looking down. Is this the path you've gone down this path before, right?
Oh yes. Every single time I go to Kresk, this is pretty much the only way I can do that.
All right, so this should be fine. Have you ever crossed this with like a cart or anything heavy?
Yeah, me and everyone else. This is the way.
Well, then it's fine. And he's going to start walking across the bridge.
All right. Vasili and Irena will follow you.
Cool beans. Keeping an eye, still like the biggest concern for us is the tree line. Are there any animals? Are there any wolves? Because we've encountered wolves in the woods several times.
You don't hear any wolves, but give me a perception check, John.
Alrighty. That is a 13.
There's no wolves around here. That's for sure. You should notice those quite easily. Wolves don't have a habit of sneaking around.
All right. Yep.
You have that feeling of being watched.
What?
Sorry.
What is it?
Something, I can't quite shake the feeling that something's out there. I haven't seen anything, but...
Can you reach out and...
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. At that, he'll go ahead and do a divine sense.
No, you don't feel anything.
I think that's 60 feet. Okay, cool. Doesn't seem like there's anything evil or undead or wrong out here, but
Oh, and it also detects evil, right?
so divine sense detects good and evil. Until the next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend, undead, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Yeah, no. Sorry, feel free to move your token back a little bit if you want to. Yeah, there's something evil here. Yeah.
Right.
Not
Open it
undead,
up.
but there's definitely something evil lurking in the woods here.
Okay, so I've opened it up. I should. It says you sense anything and you know the location of the, I guess, undead or hallowed thing.
Yeah,
So-
you were right about the tree line. There's something amiss about the tree line.
All right.
It's not. The thing is, I'm not going to give you a location because it isn't a location. It's everywhere.
All right, so as soon as I open it up, I immediately not double over, but almost. This is not. He's gonna look around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not something. It's everything. This place is foul, tainted.
Ariel. Roll me a perception check. I know you're passive, but roll me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. All right. You're lucky.
Nice.
You're looking around with the things that John said, and you're like, doesn't sit right with you. So you look left and right. You look at the trees. You turn around to the trees on the southern side of this map. And you can't see anything, but you have this feeling too, like there's something up here. You turn back to the other side of the trees, and within the trees, you spot a couple of red eyes looking at you. And as those red eyes spot the fact that you spotted them, it lurches forward from the tree towards you. But it misses, because you saw it just in time, and you took a step backward. Right in front of you, on the ground, a very tiny but angry-looking critter just bumps on the ground and looks at you hissing. And I need you guys to roll for initiative.
Okay.
No natural 20s.
Wow. Did you just get
I think that's
double?
the first time we've got it doubled.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh.
Are you okay? what is
Okay,
happening?
Melissa,
Oh my God.
did you drop something?
I dropped my earphone during that. So yes.
It scared you,
So
didn't it?
24 in total.
Perfectly fine. Everything's fine.
Sorry. I got really excited because that's never happened to us. We've never had like a 20 and a 20. So yeah, that's a 24 in total.
That's 19 for me.
I got a 13.
19, 24, 13 for you, John?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Double crit. Wow. Never thought I'd see the day.
That's
That's
beautiful.
amazing. Double crit all the way across the sky.
Alrighty. Casariel, you're first. In front of you stands a very weird, scary-looking little man that, if you'd have to say, it looks kinda like a halfling, but weird. It's like a halfling, goblin, It almost looks undead, even though you're certain it's not undead. It has weird long claws, a broad mouth that is like almost like happily looking at you, like it's going to tear you apart and enjoy, like it's going to enjoy doing so. It has fierce red eyes.
And it
What do you do?
lunged at me, correct?
It lunged at you, fell on the ground because you took a step backwards, and now it's standing in front of you. Like, if you're gonna move, I'm gonna cut you open.
Okay, so I actually, as it lunges at me, my first reaction is a purple ball of energy appears in my hands, and this time, instead of just hurling it forward, I'm actually going to take it, and then I've got 2 balls of energy, and I'm gonna one right after the other. I'm going to toss a moonbolt at it.
Cool. Let's go.
Oh no. Okay, that's 12.
That hits.
Okay. That's gonna be 2d10 now. Wait, am I wrong about that? Is that not this level? Did I just get real excited for no reason? Hang on, I'm sorry, just one sec. At 5th level. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got 2.
Okay, so I got a 10 and a 9.
Oh my god.
19 total.
Ooh.
Pow!
It just disintegrates in front of you. It completely disintegrates through the moonbeam. But while that happens, the last thing you see in the disintegration process is that wicked smile and eyes. It feels like it's almost had pleasure in dying. The fact that you made him hurt. It is the last thing you see before it just completely turns to dust and it's gone.
It's a monster kiss.
Anything else?
What the fuck was that?
Anything else?
No.
Can I?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, can
John.
I say? I'm gonna say.
Oh, sorry, Carla.
Okay.
Oh, that says it was small and it jumped out at us with a lot of confidence. So that means it probably isn't alone. And I'm going to start scanning the tree lines.
John just said before this, it's all around us. So.
Come closer. You do.
I'm going to come closer. I'm going to use my bonus action to start sort of like trying to well up a tail within me. So just that I know what tail is going to come forward in my next round. Ooh, okay, that's fun. Alright, so I know I'll get to that later. And then I'm going to use my main action to, like, see if anything else is coming out at us.
Okay. John.
So in this lull, I felt that there's more around us than I would have known if it was just one direction. So John's going to sort of like gesture to Irena and Vasili, like stay back, and look at the symbol of the moon that he's got on his left hand, and he's gonna cast bless on the 3 of them, the three of us, and that's gonna be bless. So now we all have bless, and same thing with Carla. He's gonna be looking left and right, looking for movement, looking for red eyes.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Irena looks at Vasili for a second, then draws a blade, and gets closer to you guys as well. She says, I'm helping out. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm with you. Vasili, looking around, also draws a rapier that he has with him. And he says, I'm not going to be left out. Let's do this. As he says that, rather loudly and annoyingly so, you notice, all 3 of you collectively, in the tree lines that a couple more pair of eyes have shown up. And when I say a couple, it's a couple. All around you.
Holy shit.
These creatures pop up.
Wow.
Jump down from the trees or are still hanging in the trees. They all come closer, and one of them tries to make a lurch attack. He jumps down from the tree in between John and Irena, and it tries to attack you, John, with its claws. It tries to attack you for a 20, dirty 20.
That'll get me.
It hits you for 3 slashing damage. And it looks at you very menacingly.
Ah! Yeah, like, he's looking forward, and this thing came up behind him and, like, jabbed him in the side. Ah, they're tiny, but they're quick.
Another one at the other side.
I'm going to make a quick concentration check on Bless. Yep. 5. Bless is down.
Bless is down. On the other side of the river, another one jumps down and scoots over to Casariel and tries to do the same thing. Tries to hit you with a claw attack, and it does it for an 18.
That's my armor class.
It hits you for 3 slashing damage.
Okay.
The other ones seem to be gearing up for something, but they don't attack just yet. Casariel.
All right. This is bad. So, are they humanoid?
They kind of seem like it, but not entirely. It's like humanoid plus.
Okay.
Something happened with them.
Okay. Casariel's going to walk forward, and she'll say, I think we've all gotten off on the wrong foot here. I mean, we're just trying to cross the bridge. Clearly this is your bridge. And as she's bullshitting, she'll cast Calm Emotions. So in a 20-foot radius, I just need everyone to make a charisma saving throw, please.
I'll roll that as one roll for everyone. Sure. How much is it?
15.
Let's see what their bonuses are. Hang on. Charisma saving throw, you said, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they totally failed that. So they'll come down. They got a -3 on that, so good call.
So I cast Calm Emotions, and they all think we're buddies. Everyone that's in, I think this guy out here might not. This guy out here is too far. But everyone else. Oh, wait. Nope, this guy also. So this guy and this guy.
I'll mark him.
Everyone else. Don't harm anyone, friends. All right? Everyone understand? And you can see, like, Casariel's eyes as she looks back are kind of, like, flashing white and purple. You can tell she cast something. If you're not sure what it was, at least you can tell something.
Harm anyone. This one just stabbed me in the side.
Oh, no, we're friends now.
Fine. It's looking at me menacingly.
Do we want to get away from here, or do we want to... Because I can get like 3 of us away from here really quickly.
I think that there's 2 of them that might still attack us, but if we attack them, then my spell will end on rest. So I think we should maybe just continue on our way. You know?
So you 2 can move really fast, right? So if you 2 can sprint, I can get these 2 away quicker. Really quick. And I'm going to
What if there's more up ahead?
use my holded action, which was the tail of the runaway, and a purple portal forms underneath me, Irena, and what's his name? Vasili.
I keep forgetting too.
And takes all 3 of us 30 feet away.
That is so cool.
That is amazing.
I was going to ask you something, and I don't need to ask you anymore because you just did this. Great. So you're helping me. Thank you.
So I'm going to try and get us
scared
here.
now.
So we're just going to pop out and then pop right back. Oh, though, would it be beneficial to go in a hiding place?
That doesn't matter.
Okay,
Feel free.
cool. Good to know.
I know.
In
All right,
these things
I'll just
came
continue
from
on the road.
forest.
Right.
I'll continue
Then
on.
we'll move in the same direction. There we go. All right. Carla,
Yes.
as you take this portal, you pop in and out of existence, basically, as you have done so many times, together with Irena and Vasili. And as you come back and you want to turn around to have a look at all the drowners that are standing around, you're just about to turn around to them when you stand face to face with something entirely different that you hadn't seen just yet, and it's slowly approaching you. In front of you is a skeletal man, clad in metal armor, wearing a crown that looks like it's been made of all sorts of bits and bobs, but metal. There's definitely something undead about this. He comes closer, and as you lock eyes with him, he raises a hand to you.
Hello.
And nothing more.
She's gonna like pop up, see this, and just go like a little wave, and then turn back to the other ones and like, hello. I don't think. Oh no.
John,
Okay.
your turn.
Casariel said not to attack these guys. But this one up here is new. I haven't met him yet. I'm going to bonus action Misty Step forward to be right next to Carla. And then take a step forward. I know you said there's definitely something undead about him. You can tell.
It's a skeleton in metal armor.
Okay, cool.
Kind of.
And I'm gonna take a big old swing at him. No heavy weapon master, but let's go with a big old smite if I hit. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it. Thank God for no
Where are
heavy.
we currently in?
Huh? Okay, so
Where are we currently in the initiative?
John, right? Or was Casariel going before me?
No, Sarah's been, and
Okay.
and Carla's been, so it's your turn.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's all good.
Oh wait. When you
Yeah, because that was
Carla-
a holded
Carla goes-
action. I was
oh,
wondering
yeah.
if I had another one.
Oh,
Because I determined my tail held the action
Yeah,
until I
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sorry. So you still have an action.
Yes. Oh,
Yep.
sorry. Get back there, John. This is, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm actually yelling out what I'm going to do. I'm about to come up there and hurt you.
I'm going to just like, hello, and I'm going to just kind of like reach my hand out and like hit him, and I'm going to bestow a curse upon him. Yes! And I'm going to like poke him a little bit, and what you actually see is basically from my hand a purple sort of glow starts to form over in sort of the shape of a spirit that kind of stands in front of him and then bashes back into him, and his eyes glow purple, and he has the curse upon him. So his ability
Sure.
score that is going to go down.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There's no
what?
saving throw against this, right?
Is there?
No, there isn't, right?
It's
I just
wisdom.
wanted to-
Wisdom saving throw.
Of?
14. 14.
He gets a 28.
Back. Okay.
He's
Oh
pretty
shit! No,
wise.
he's.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna tip him. And you'll see this come up, and you'll see it go in. And you think that it's going to like hold purchase, but then he like shakes his eyes a little bit, and the purple fades, and he doesn't get the curse.
You said no.
Shit. Okay, and with that, then my bonus
No.
action, I'm going to determine a different tail. Okay. All right. I don't think that's going to be helpful, but that's fine. It'll be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. All right. That's my turn, I guess. Unless you know what, I can move. That is something that I can do.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to move to the closest. Oh, that's a guy that wants to hit me. Yeah, I'm going to try and go towards like cover. I'm trying to go over here.
I think I was actually
I'm
one
like,
step
you're on
back.
your own.
That was my bad. Okay.
John.
Okay. I'm seeing a bunch of weird stuff going on up there, but there still is a skeletal man up there, and I'm not allowed to hurt these people, apparently. Suriel will explain it later, probably. And poof, or bamf, and then he'll yeah, and yep, Irena and Vasili behind him. He says, help Carla, and steps forward and smackety. I'm
right.
gonna Here we go. Oh my god, I got worse. Okay, I got a 10 to hit.
Misses.
Yeah. And no, you're fine. I think so. That was my bonus action and action, and I'm just going to. I'm gonna stare at this guy down. All right. As I'm striking, are you friend or foe? Ah!
I'll allow that.
Okay.
He stands before you, and as you say that, he still has that one hand raised, and he says, "Friend."
Oh.
And he looks at the surrounding creatures around you, and he raises his other hand as well, and he says, "Shoo now! Leave these travelers alone." And funnily enough, all the creatures around you are totally taken aback by this, and they flee back into the trees.
I'm so glad I didn't hit him.
I don't trust like that. I don't trust like that.
The drowners all around you seem to have fled back into the trees, and the only creature that is still standing here that is out of the ordinary is the skeletal, well, creature, clad in metal armor, wearing a weird crown.
Is that crown made of spoons?
Are we still? Are we out of initiative order now?
You are.
All right.
Unless you really want to fight him, but
John is essentially going to stand there gripping his weapon tightly and not taking his eyes off of him. Take a step back.
Does the same thing. He does the same thing to you, and that's a whole lot easier when you're just a skull.
So he'll take a step back, and Carla, Cyril, Vasili, Irena, I think he seems not to be violent.
As John takes a step back, Carla, realizing there's no danger, takes a step forward and starts kind of like circling around him and like taking in his dress, taking in his garb, trying to think if anything on him resembles anything that she's seen before or looks familiar or that she can notify. She's really like investigating him. She's like,
smart. Give me an investigation on that.
Oh, fabulous. My passive investigation is 18, by the way, just in case that helps.
With the passive, I will totally allow that already. Because, yes, you recognize something about what he's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a certain book that you've read that was very captivating, in a way, where you have seen people dressed in this type of armor. For this man, as you would assume, is wearing the armor of Argynvost.
Argynvost, right?
You say that out loud?
Yeah, I'm going to look up to him.
He slowly turns back to you and he says, "My order."
Part of the order of Argynvost?
Yes.
Well, I'm Carla Lilacott. I'm part of the Order of the Violet Gazette, and I'm going to hold out my hand for him to shake.
And from underneath his cape, a bony hand extends and grips yours, rather tightly, but not painful. And he says, "The honor is all mine. I am Sir Lingurvich." Yes. And he raises your hands to his would-be lips and holds it there for a split second before returning your hand.
The most romantic thing Carla's experienced since coming to Barovia. She's very excited.
Please don't turn this into a romantic relationship. You're a bard. I don't trust you.
I'm trying to try and seduce him, but she's a bard who really likes, like...
It's
Like,
the first
this is
ship.
supernatural.
I'm here for it.
This is great.
I like it.
He's not going to bone you, even though he's a skeleton. Okay.
Listen. I'm just interested in him. No, so you're a little different. You know, I've seen people from the Order of Argynvost before, which is how I noticed your wonderful armor. But you're a little different to them. You're a little, a little more. Excuse my terminology. A little more skeletal than they were. Are you aware that you're like that?
Skeletal. I guard the bridge in the gatehouse, and he points towards the tree line a little further west down the road. I remain and light the lanterns on the bridge day in, day out. I protect this road from the undead.
You are absolutely so important to this. I mean, I could not imagine something more important than this. I'm so glad you do it, and I'm so glad you took the moment to help us, right? Right? I'm gonna look at John to be like, don't say anything that you're usually going to say.
Wait, did you say Argynvost? The paladins
Yes.
that we saw in our dream?
Mm-hmm.
The Order.
The Order of Argynvost. I've heard of those who were of a holy purpose falling in battle and being granted a chance to continue their duties. I never expected I never expected to find one of your order in a place such as this. That it seemed surrounded by desecration.
It is there where the land itself becomes corrupt, where we are needed most.
I have a little question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
I'm sorry. I apologize for lashing out. I apologize, sir. I did not mean to cause harm. I meant to cause harm, but I'm glad I didn't.
I understand.
So I have this map, right? And I'm desperately looking for the hold of Argynvost hold. Would you be able to point out on this map where it was or could have been?
Yes.
And I kind of show him the map.
And he points directly at the map. And he says, here. And he follows his finger along the main road that you've been walking on. The hold of takes his bony finger off the map and starts looking around. And he points to the road that branches off towards the north. And says, the keep of the... He turns around, points to the south. Our sanctified castle lies... He turns towards the main road, towards the west. He says, down... I don't know.
It was worth a try. It's so okay. I'm gonna fold up the map and tuck it away. Is for you, where you're right now, is Argynvost still standing? Or is he not? What news do you know?
Argynvost remains steadfast in protecting this land from its intruder.
Intruder?
Strahd will never rule these lands.
Interesting.
I hate to break it to you.
John, you hear in your head,
Yeah.
don't.
never mind.
We need an ally.
John, shh.
He goes, I hate to break it to you, and in his head he just hears Carla go, please, I'm begging you. We need an ally.
Are there others like you, of your order?
Yes. Our order is manifold. I have been granted the special task of guarding this bridge, and others have similar tasks around the land.
I'm going to unsheath my sword that I won from the battle. And I'll just hold it in both of my hands out to him. Do you know the man this belongs to?
You see him looking at the sword, and it's almost as if he's frozen in place, looking at the sword for an extended amount of time. He then looks down, and you see that near his cape, he has a scabbard. Casariel, the scabbard is empty. He looks back at you and he says, that is one of our swords.
Then I believe this belongs to you. And I'll offer it to him.
His hand reaches out to the sword and bends around the hilt before he lets it go again and says, No, my sword is at my side, always. Here. And he turns around and shows you the empty scabbard. My sword is with me.
Right. Well, I'll keep this one safe until I find its owner. Then.
Yes.
So, should we be on our way?
Yes. One mustn't daddle and hang around in these dangerous woods. Off you go.
Thank you for your help in that. It was that situation was getting a bit out of hand, and we appreciate that you helped to stay the creatures. So Casario, that was amazing. You stopped all of them.
Not all of them. That was two. Two that I didn't get. Just two.
Okay, 2 of the several hundred. Still.
Just two.
I don't think there was 100.
I don't
Let's keep going.
Thank you.
Stirlingrovich
very much.
raises one hand, well, left of it, puts it in front of its chest, and turns around and walks away rather upright for a skeleton back to the location he came from. And you see him disappearing in between the trees to where he said his guardhouse was.
As he turns his back, Carla's going to really look and remember the cloud of daggers that she sent spiraling towards the officer that they killed. Kills back. Is there scratches on there that are indicative
His
of
whole
perhaps
cape
how
is
he
one-
died?
His cape looks like a Swiss cheese.
By the way, I'm sorry. Might not make sense now, but I am sorry.
We are all sorry.
Hey.
All right, I suppose we should move on.
Can we see this guardhouse in the distance, wherever he was talking about?
If you look between the tree lines, you will see what remains of something that might have been a little house close to the bridge. It's a guardhouse. Sounds like something that is relatively fortified, something you can defend, etc. This looks like the remains of a house that might have been built out of stone, if that. It's not much of a guardhouse. Certainly not in this condition.
Should we?
I guess. Does the map show where these roads go, or we're going straight, correct, to Kresk, Vasili?
Yes. If we... I'm sorry. I've... You must think I'm crazy. I've traveled these roads at least for the last 10, 15 years. I have never seen whatever that was.
Oh yeah, you said you've been over this bridge quite often, and that guy said there
15...
were... Yeah.
15 years, back and forth.
There were lots of these creatures. You've never encountered them?
Not once.
It's odd. Normally you would expect them to attack a smaller group than a larger one.
I guess you're the tactician, but that seems plausible.
We have someone with us who happens to be very in touch with the strange and unusual. Perhaps that is why.
Love them. Love them. Love them when I'm not the one who directly killed them.
Oh, I was talking
It
about
was
the
him.
little creatures.
Oh, the creatures. Oh, those. Yes, those were interesting. I didn't like that there were many of them. So when she disintegrated it, is it like a pile of dust, or is there like a bit of a body to inspect?
I'm sensing Duskaloo vibes, and there's a pile of dust.
Listen.
fair.
She's not about desecrating the dead. She just likes looking at it. No, she doesn't like looking at the dead. She likes when things come back
I'm not
to life
desecrating so
from the
much
dead.
as just sticking a wet finger in there.
I just want to have a look. Okay, no, no clue what those were. I think that was the question. Sorry, I was a little caught up.
Yeah, John just sort of massages a slightly scarring area that he got stabbed in. Like, they didn't hit hard, but they were a lot of them.
You can usually tell when things are undead, right? Was this just pure evil?
It didn't feel like the same as when we were in the church in Barovia. It didn't feel like that foul abomination of undeath, but it was something that was a horrible intent. Just nothing but malice.
Yes, not nice. So we'll try to avoid those.
If you recall back, like what they looked like and whatnot, I mean, it's hard to describe them because these are really creepy creatures, but they really are like they're. I think what you just said, John, abominations is like tiny, but abominations nonetheless. I think that's really fitting. Like someone just had a crate of body parts and just stitched them together. Like, okay, what can I do that like looks very creepy if you like stitch all this together? That's kind of what these look like.
So wait, were they actually undead then? Like
no.
Okay.
No,
so,
that's like they weren't, because then you would have noticed them as undead.
Okay.
So they weren't, but that is what they kind of look like. You know, like someone has been very much experimenting with like, okay, so you know, sugar spice and everything nice, but then like the polar opposites of that.
whales and snails and puppy dog tails, or snips and snails and puppy dog tails.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Should we check that building out, or should we head to Kresk and then come back?
Kresk can come back. You know, it was interesting to see a skeleton walking around. It's very difficult to sort of comprehend the fact that we murdered him and robbed him. Usually I just am investigating people who have been murdered by others. This is much worse.
You know, rob is an interesting word because I did try to give him his sword back and he didn't want it.
You did. That was very noble. That was very kind. I wouldn't have done that, but...
Right?
Yes.
I think he may have a bit of problem seeing because he held up his empty scabbard and he was like, oh, there's a sword there.
But
Skeletons.
he is definitely of that time when Argent Voss held strong before the invasion of Strahd.
I've definitely
He doesn't
heard
seem
of...
evil.
There have definitely been righteous knights of orders that whatever they were following allowed them to persist on after they were struck down and continue their tasks. So
the business is not done.
Right. Honestly,
When we come back, we might be able to help finish it. Though
I-
he is keeping this road safe.
I wasn't really ever
For us,
considering that.
though. What do you mean, John? Considering what?
For a while now, you know what happened with Bartholomew. Just the mere sight of some abomination like that, something that is undead, like when that Daskaloo was raising the damned things, it sets my nerves on edge. But that was not an abomination. What we just talked to. He was a person, a human once, and not evil. I hadn't really considered that. I had every intent on shattering him. I thought he was going to harm Carla or you. I have to be a little bit more careful. Never mind. It's just something I need to think about.
I think, Carla, you can correct me if I'm wrong here from your expert opinion, but if someone is evil in life, in undeath they are evil. They are good in life, perhaps in undeath they are good.
I don't know about that boy in Barovia, in the church. If someone is twisted into a form that persists on the destruction of living creatures, then even the most holy of minds, the most righteous of souls, can be corrupted. But I know what you mean. If your willpower, or if whoever you served is what brought upon your longevity, maybe that has something to do with it.
Yes.
Aye.
Like if my father passed here, perhaps he is still protecting the people of this land.
It's possible, and he may have even been, like, it's possible that would have even been your father. I would have felt horrible had I struck him down.
If he had been. I think that's what he's trying to imply, not that he is.
Of course, that's what I mean.
Yes.
It's like we learned his name. He isn't your father.
No.
Saying if that had been paladin of paladin of Argent Voss and a paladin of Lathander could easily have. Never mind. I'm not really sure
I
how
think
this
we need
works.
as many allies as we can find here, and before we strike, perhaps we should attempt to make friends, no matter how terrifying they may be.
The spoon hat was quite nice, though. That was, a little fun touch. We didn't have that last time.
What was it?
Did you see his crown? It was made of cutlery.
Oh, yes, I did notice that. Yes.
I didn't see much above his eyes or holes.
I think it is best left when we don't have possibly, company that could be harmed further. I think it's best to get her to the Abbey, and we can come back and try and maybe finish some of his business for him. I do feel bad.
All right.
Let's proceed.
Yes. Vasili says, let's move on. You move down the road from here and back onto the map.
Yep.
This was that crossroad that you were.
Well, I suppose we'll just keep moving forward until we see anything dangerous looking.
The road takes you through yet some more. You can move on. Through some more trees. There's a thick fog around you, and the rain is once again setting in. You're about midday right now. And around the woods, you have a feeling that you're not necessarily that you're being watched, but you have the feeling that the wolves that you've been careful about so far might reside in these woods. You hear the occasional howl. As you move along this road is slowly going upwards, as if you're going uphill. Not that much, but a little bit.
So when we come, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's also starting to get a little colder over here. Not that much, but a little bit.
We saw a mountain in the distance when we crossed where the gold was near the waterfall.
Yep.
Are we past that, or are we approaching it?
Near the waterfall, that's an entirely different mountain range than where you are right now.
Okay, so that was, I believe, to the west when we crossed it, and so we've been traveling west for some time now. Have we passed that mountain, or is it
from where you were standing back there? It was west by southwest. It's
okay,
an
so
entirely,
it's far down. Okay,
entirely different mountain range than where you are right now. Yes.
And one last question: when we crossed this river, was it high above the water, or was it also?
It was a relatively flat bridge, nothing special.
Okay.
Kind of the same kind of make as the other bridge, but nothing happened when you crossed it. As you crossed it, the road starts to go up a little more steeply, and you're noticing that you're getting closer to a mountain range again. As you move up the road, suddenly you do see near a mountain range a couple of walls and turrets, towers, I'd have to say, protruding from that. If anything, that's either a castle or that might just be the abbey. I imagine that as soon as you guys see that, you verify that with Vasili, who will indeed agree. Yes,
I imagine
that is the abbey.
I imagine we've been asking questions as we're just going like the land around and various details about the wildlife and dangers. So.
Yeah. As you get closer and closer to the mountain range and up the road, most probably towards the village, it starts to get a little colder, and the rain that is slightly drizzling starts to turn to snow. You have a feeling that you're getting into a higher altitude. It's not freezing by any means. I mean, technically it is because it's snowing, but it is doable still.
The snow is
Move
like
up the road,
melting the moment it hits the ground, basically.
Yeah, it's like it's that temperature. So it's cold, but you live. From where you are right now, you can very clearly see the entrance to the village of Kresk. And Vasili says, it's getting dark. I'm glad that I guessed this correctly. We're here. Let's go. Do you guys want to go to Kresk?
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point, now that we're getting closer and it seems like there's less danger, we'll probably let him and Irena start walking out front, and because they probably can interact with people in a better way than we can.
Sure. All right. That'll mean that I have a rearranged example as well.
If Casero disagrees.
What do you mean I'm so good at with people? What are you talking about?
I meant that they might know the people, or at least Vasili may have, tossed the guard of gold. I mean, I don't want to have to give up mine.
Toss the gold to your witcher, right?
So
you approach the village, and that light snow drizzle is still continuing. In front of you, there is a very small path that stretches. It's a natural path, but it stretches in between two very large and deep canyons. If you were going to have to build a place in the mountainside, this is the place to wall off. It is such a smart place to fortify. And yes, indeed, beyond this crevice that you see on both sides of the path is indeed a giant stone and wood wall with a portcullis, and on top of the walls, a couple of faces that are looking down at you. As you approach the walls, you very clearly hear from the gates, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Into Vasili.
Do you guys let Vasili and Irena walk in front?
It's completely black for me, the screen.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Hang on. Let's fix that.
Alrighty.
We can always also use this one, but I'd prefer to have the map one. Better?
Yes.
Great.
Like 40-foot drop, 4d6 damage.
Yeah, it's like, so it's a crevice. Like, you don't want to drop in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I sort of gestured to Vasili, stopped when they said halt, and I'm looking. I imagine me and Kazariel are probably like looking at how many of them have any ranged weapons, crossbows, where the damage might come from, where the attacks might come from, and so on.
Almost all of them. You see the occasional spear sticking out from behind the wall, but almost all of them that are on the walls have bows, crossbows, and the like.
About how
John,
tall? Okay.
Give me an insight check on this, because you have military training, and I wanna see if you see something.
I am really good at insight, and with my +0, I got a 7.
All right, it's a wall. Other than that,
so how tall, how high up off the ground are they on the wall, like relative to us?
let's just say about like 15 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice
so
wall.
it's not. Yeah, it's a pretty good wall. It's not King's Landing, like, you know, but it's a wall. This can withstand something. This is pretty fortified.
Impressive
Vasili takes
fortifications, friends.
There's no reply to that.
Right.
Vasili steps forward, and he says, "Hail, guardsmen! I am Vasili, and I am here by invitation of your Burgermeister, the Lord Kreskov. Can you please hail him for me? I'd like to speak with him." One of the men on the wall disappears, and sure enough, after a couple of minutes, another guard reappears, and next to him, he indeed has another gentleman that doesn't look like a guard. He seems like a slightly older gentleman, like not ancient, maybe in his 50s to 60s. A big grey bushy beard and a large, you know, one of those Russian hats that, you know, with fur and whatnot to keep the cold out. The funny thing is, the burgomasters that you've seen so far, they do look like people with authority, but they don't look regal. This guy does. There's a certain radiance from this guy. This guy commands respect just by being. And he looks down from the walls to all of you and he says, "I heard that there is someone down there that I would like to see." And he says with a broad smile, "Vasili, is that you?" Vasili broadly smiles and raises both of his hands. He says, "My good friend, my lord, I come bearing good tidings, friends, and a favor to ask. We have someone with us that seeks protection, and I do urge you to open up these walls so we can come in and seek safety. Can we come in, please?" There's a dead silence after he said that. And the man on the wall says, "I don't know." "No, I'm just kidding. Come on in, friend." And the large doors slowly open. You have been granted access to Kresk.
Yay.
So he turns around to Irena and then to all of you and he says, "Let's get in there. It's getting cold."
In my chainmail armor, is it now?
Lies.
Oh,
The large gates close behind you. And in front of you, now that you've passed the walls, you see that Irena wasn't lying. This village doesn't have a huge amount of houses, even though this isn't a tiny village. This is rather sizable for a village. But you do see little plots of farmland here and there. You see some cattle here and there. You see lots of trees. And you get that feeling that indeed this village might just be self-sustaining within the walls.
I'm gonna wait
On the side,
Okay.
yeah, on the side, the Lord comes down from the wall, approaches Dmitri. Sorry, he's called Dmitri. He approaches Vasili, gives him a firm handshake, and he says, "It's good to see you again. It's been too long. Years almost at this point. Where have you been?" And Vasili says, and he shoots a look at all of you, and he says, "Been very busy. I must ask of you, is the shrine still here?" "Oh, but of course the shrine is here. I imagine you want to visit it as always." "Yes," Vasili says, I'd like to. And then, after that, we'd like to retire. It's been a long day. We'll talk in the morning." The Burgomeister says, "I understand. As for all of you," and he looks at you, "my name is Dmitri Kreskov. I come from a long line of people that have kept this village safe, and know that, friend or no friend, my duty is to make sure that the people that earned their rights to live here are being kept safe. The fact that you come with Vasili gives you the right to be here. But know that if you step one step out of bounds, I will have no issue throwing you outside of these walls day or night to protect the people that deserve to be protected. Is that clear?"
Very clear, though. Is there like a manual of the bounds that are there that we shouldn't cross? Just in case, we are outsiders. We come from, I hail from near Neverwinter, very different culture I found from other places. "Hello, I'm Kala Lilakash." She gets kind of nervous and puts her hand out for him to shake.
He looks down at your hand and he doesn't take it. And he says, "Ask one of the guards for that. I will retire and see you tomorrow."
Before he goes, John wants to say, "Don't worry, Lord Kreskov. It's very nice to meet you, and you have a very fine village here. It seems like you're all surviving up here, and we've no quarrel with you. And as long as we aren't put in any danger, as long as my friends are not shown malice, we'll be the finest guests you could imagine."
"I expect nothing less." And he walks off towards
Excellent.
the nearest
That was
house.
the best.
The
John.
nearest house, one more thing. The nearest house seems to be the biggest house of the bunch around you. You would expect, seeing as he walks in there, that might be his. And even though it is one of the largest houses around here, it definitely doesn't look luxurious. It's just a little bigger, but it's, other than that, just a normal row house made of wood, like all the other ones.
He doesn't shake hands? What is that about?
John's gonna lean into
Everybody-
Xariel and try to sort of surreptitiously say something. Didn't he say he travels this way all the time?
He's a shady motherfucker. I don't believe anything he says.
I mean, we slept in his house. Oh, okay.
You are right about that, and that was incredibly well handling. I didn't know how to approach him. Authority types are strange.
I mean,
So strange.
we've been around people higher up in the military, and generally, as long as you respect them, and I had to make it clear that if we were treated with malice or in any way, there would be a reckoning. But beyond that, I don't think any of us intend to cause any trouble.
That really remains to be seen. If he's that rude again, I really can't make any promises.
Are you saying that just to John, or is it loud enough for Vasili to pick up on that?
Oh, he's right next to me. I don't care what that one hears.
In that case, Vasili will hear that, and he says, think what you want, but he is a lord, one of the only few lords in this land that actually has the right to that title. And he demands to be treated as one. Call it a quirk. He's a good man. He just has his mannerisms.
What's your definition of a good man? Because mine is like incredibly high in terms of standards, but like I know other people's aren't.
Vasili grins at you and says, just ask anyone in town what they think of him. You'd be pleasantly surprised. Everyone reveres this man.
Well, maybe since he's such a good friend of yours, you should let him know that it's very rude to refuse a handshake unless someone's trying to introduce himself.
This seems like a pretty treacherous land, and I can understand some level of mistrust. I would imagine he's just looking out for the people in his village, but I can understand where you're coming from.
Really, that's it? But where are we going to stay? I mean, if they don't accept people very often, I don't imagine they have an inn.
They do, Vasili says.
Just remind
it is small, but it does run. They do get the occasional visits from the wine deliveries, for example. They need a place to stay, so there is something. It's a little ways up the road, but there's a shrine in this town. Every time I come here, I like to visit it. Mm-hmm. If you want to accompany me there, that's fine. If you want to go to the inn, I understand perfectly. It is the larger house directly in front of us, and he points just upwards north. He says the first house you see over there, that is the inn. That one, yeah. If you want to go there, I understand. It's been a long day. It's getting dark. It's cold. I really want to visit the shrine. I told Irena about this shrine before, and I want to show it to her. After that, we will also go to the inn. So it's up to you. But Irena, will you follow me? And Irena says, yeah, I'd love to see it.
Vasili.
We'll go to make sure they're not on their own, right?
Do you think... Wait, are we... What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, will we go to the shrine with them? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I keep doing that. I don't have Discord open. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's completely fine. It's completely fine. There's a minor delay, so it's not... anyway, so yeah, if we're going with them, then I don't need to ask this.
Oh, I'm so interested in this. I would love to go. Wouldn't miss it.
Of course. Shrine, like, is it to the Morning Lord, like the last place that we were at?
Not really. You'll have to see it. Please, follow me. And he walks together with Irena along the path that goes to the north and then slowly bends a little bit to the east and keeps on going north.
I'm gonna take John's arm a moment and just slip my hand into his, and like kind of radiant energy I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but I've never done this before. Just surge from my hand into his. I'm gonna try to cast Remove Curse. It's the first time I've ever done this. I read this in the book. In the book, My Father's Religion. And I'll cast Remove Curse.
I want to see how this turns out before I respond.
Is that a question on me if I want to like rule on that, or?
Well, I want to see what if there is any effect.
So all curses affecting the creature end. If the object is has a curse, if the object is a cursed magic item, the curse remains, but the spell is broken. I don't touch the magic item, just John's hand.
Okay.
Is this about the pies, Casariel? I don't think it's a curse. They're just very tasty.
Casario?
Hmm?
To you, nothing happens. Since this is the first time you're using this particular spell, you also don't know if you should get any feedback from this, but there's nothing.
I get nothing. Okay.
John, to you, you get a very warm and pleasant feeling in your hand. It's probably a good thing, but whether or not it is, you don't know.
Thank you. It is really cold here, but I mean, your hands are very warm, Casariel. Are you feeling all right?
Do you feel any different? I tried to cause something on you to take away evil things. Might be haunting you.
A bit more comforted. This place is cold, but I feel a little bit more relaxed and warm.
You feel stronger, perhaps, or
Do I feel stronger?
I mean, I would say try to hit me, but we've got to keep up with them. We all know you can't touch me anyway, so might as well chop then.
She leaves, and John's sort of just standing there like, what the hell just happened?
Oh no! Oh,
You guys follow, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's as far as you have to go.
When I look back, did I see them holding hands? Was it too far away? Was it obvious, or was it something you tried to do subtly?
I'll let that up. I was gonna say I'll let that up to the players. I won't rule on that.
I didn't.
Yeah,
even
no,
know
I mean, I
anything
grabbed his hand and I like looked at it, you know, and it was like one of those things where like I was like, you know.
She's patched me up quite a bit in the field before, so I imagine that she tends to know a little bit better than I do. Sometimes I'll be going, and I have like gashes that I didn't even know I had, and she keeps me standing. So I trust her. I trust you, Casari.
Noted. Okay.
All right. You move along this path and you follow Vasili and Irena. And you know, Vasili might be an odd character, and you might not trust him, but he's right about one thing. This shrine is one of those places that you kind of have to see to experience it. As you turn around the couple of houses here and you walk towards where they're walking, you notice that in front of you there is a small pond. Not that small, but it's definitely not a lake. The pond itself radiates a certain light. It feels so serene over here. The whole land of Barovia might be terrible, and there is the odd place out that sort of tries to withstand the grayness and the mist, and the cold and the rain that this land has, but gosh, if you'd have to point at one place in this godforsaken land that feels right and holy, it would be this lake. This place feels right. And as you approach the waters here, you see that close by these waters, there is a little gazebo along the path. And Vasili points towards the gazebo and he says, I know it's not much of a shrine, but that's it.
John's gonna... I guess they're all moving forward, right? They're all moving towards the shrine? Okay.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
As a quick request, you can walk wherever you want, John, but I'd prefer you to stay a little behind them.
Yeah, okay. So, John, as they're walking forward, so just to talk about this as less than, more cinematic. As they're walking forward, I imagine that John's sort of drawn towards the slightly glowing lake, and he's going to be walking a little bit away from the group towards that as they
Oh, that's fine.
at the same pace.
Yeah, but feel free to walk towards the lake. That's fine.
Okay. So I'll wait until everyone else is doing whatever they're doing.
As you get a little closer to the water, John, you notice that there's a certain warmth radiating from this water. It's not a holy warmth or whatever. I mean, not as far as you can tell for now, but you definitely notice that there's warmth coming from this water. You have a feeling that this is like an underground spring or something that is feeding this.
John's going to get close to the water, and he's going to kind of kneel in a dry spot, and
Yep.
I'm going to use divine sense, but not in a way to like look for danger, but just sort of reach out and feel that sacredness that he thinks is here, that consecration.
I don't take John for I don't take John for a character that cries, but if there was a moment where you would cry of like utter
He cried earlier
joy
when
and
you saw the picture.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This would be the spot. This place is good.
It's been a while since
There's
we
something good
communed.
here. That rightfully so that you exhale like that. This place makes you feel this is good. I take it that you're pretty focused on the water, right?
He's gonna sort of stick around there until I think that they feel very safe right now. John at least doesn't think that there's anything, so he's gonna not meditate, but just sort of feel this feeling until someone lets him know it's time. It's time to go, or someone talks to him. Yeah, very focused. Sort of not really focused, but like defocused more of.
All right. Casario, Carla, what are you looking at?
I'm looking directly at that shrine. I'm very interested in whatever the hell's on like here, what this is.
Okay.
Oh, uh-oh.
And it seemed to be a little too much for our dear Casario.
Oh no. Casario was overcome with emotions.
So
as well.
sorry. Yes, I am just
But-
looking at the shrine as well.
Perfectly fine, don't worry. All right. So the gazebo itself, shrine, if you will, looks a bit like a gazebo that is not necessarily hastily constructed, but it's seen better days. It's been in disrepair. It's made out of wood predominantly, pretty wood, and it's been carved rather nicely. But if it weren't so cold over here, you would imagine that this would have started to rot at this point. It needs some attention and some love. You notice that there's a couple of steps upward towards the actual bottom of the gazebo, and on the bottom of the gazebo, you can see, even from where you're standing right now, you can see a painting. And in the center of the gazebo, you see a painting that looks like a blazing sun. Casario, you recognize this immediately. This is dedicated to the Morning Lord. Vasili stands there and just breathes in and breathes out, and he looks at Irena and he says, "Isn't this just the most serene and beautiful place you have ever seen in these lands?" And Irena closes her eyes and and notices that John agrees with this statement. She too breathes in and breathes out and opens her eyes again, and she says, "Vasili, who was that man that is standing there?" And as all of you, John probably excluded at this point, look at the gazebo. You notice that very slowly a shape is taking form. And in the middle of the gazebo stands a young man with long black hair, a very warm and friendly face. He looks very real. Like, it looks like he was just standing there. But he wasn't just a second ago. And you saw him materialize right in front of your eyes. There's a certain warmth radiating from this man, just the same. And he takes a step forward towards the steps of this shrine. And he points at Irena and he says, "Oh, my love, Tachana, I have waited for you for so long." Irena had the same face as you just did. My name is Irena. Who are you? The man on the steps lowers his hand a little bit and says, "You are not Irena. You have been named Irena this time, but you are Tachana." Irena turns around
Fine.
to Carla and Casario and has a pondering look in her eyes, like,
This time? Good sir, what do you mean by this time? That she's named this?
"It is as I say." She
Could you explain as you say?
She is, in fact, my love. She is Tachana, and we were to be married.
Really didn't work out because last I checked she's single. So... And also she's not named Tachana. Are you? And she's going to like start kind of actually rushing up towards the like shrine at this point. To like climb up the steps to get closer to this man. It's like, are you alive? I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna go, "Are you alive?"
He looks at you very slowly and he says, "No. No longer."
Are you like a ghost or a spirit or a poltergeist or what are you? Do you know? I mean, if you don't know, it's okay, but what are you?
Irena looks along with you and she says, "Yeah, who are you?"
What?
And-
Yes, what?
Vasili, standing next to Irena, just starts chuckling a little bit and he says,
Oh shit.
"That would be Sergei. That would be Sergei von Zarovich."
Like Strahd? Like Strahd von Zarovich?
Oh,
Strahd. Carla, Casario, if you look at Vasili, he looks a little different.
Fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Shady ass bitch.
My
cool.
brother, who decided to steal the one thing that I wanted in life, but I could not have her. I only wished for love. I was the one to marry Tachana, not you, brother. And as you see, not only have I taken your life,
but I will have what I want. For Irena or Tatiana or any name, she is mine and not yours. She will marry me and not you.
I want to try to step between.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh God, do I? Okay, I already did it.
at this moment, can Sean come like wiping a tear away, sort of like trudging along, like, oh, that lake was so peaceful. Did I miss something?
Carla is going to push Irena away from Strahd and cast invisibility on her.
Okay.
So she becomes invisible. I'm going to be like,
People aren't really objects. You can't own them. You can't make someone marry you. You have to marry for love.
Just making sure you only cast invisibility on her, right? Not on yourself.
Yes, not on myself.
I just push her away, and I'm saying this to him, so invisibility gets cast, pushing her away, and I'm like, run. I send a message to her in her head. She hears run.
And she looks at you, even though you can't see it. She looks at you in like utter she's in shock and just standing there. And Strahd turns to you, Carla, and he says, "Meritful as your intentions may be, and he points dead center at where she's standing. She
Never even attacked the runway yet.
is coming with me, and there is nothing that you, my brother, or anyone can do about that, because she belongs with the Lord of this land."
You're saying she, so you know she's a person, right? Right? I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to do a Hail Mary, guys.
I'm sure he knows. I'm pretty
He
sure
steps in between. He steps in between you guys, and he grabs, by the arm, invisible or not. He grabs her by the wrist, and as he does that, you feel almost like a suction in the air, and they just disappear right there. A thunderous strike in between you guys as you get blown all around, and I need you guys to make a dexterity saving throw.
I was saying I want to wreck on it so that he walks up after and he's like, "Where'd they go?" But anyway, so
where'd they?
Yep. Dexterity.
Yeah.
21.
Wait, 71.
21.
Okay, I was about to say, God damn.
She's been at this for 100 years, right? So.
Oh yeah, well that's why she's not, the best at fighting. She's amazing at dodging. Okay. Dexterity. I got 17.
17. All right. Casario, what did you get?
7.
7. All right. Carla, John, you both get knocked back about 10 feet, but it doesn't hurt. Casario, you get knocked back about 10 feet as well, but you also take 10 points of force damage.
Well, if he took her.
As you
I'm gonna
recuperate
murder
from
him.
that, Sergei is still standing there.
You saw that, didn't you? What was that about?
My brother. He will never rest. He looks at you, Carla, and he says, I understand. I've seen your face so many times before. The anger and the hatred that you feel towards someone like this, but feel pity.
No, he just referred to a woman as a person, so I think I'm going to feel, burning hot rage, and he is going to feel the wrath of it. But you need to explain. You need to give us more information. We need to help her. I promise
As John
I'll
comes
keep
over,
you
I'm just
safe,
gonna-
and I can't do that, so please.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him kind of help me out. Thank you.
I believe the answers already lie with you, Carla Lilacart. And he points to your bag where you hold the book in. Save her. She deserves it. He slowly evaporates into the snow. And I feel we need to take a little break and have a drink.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is so sad and heartbreaking.
So John runs up, helps Kasariel up, and says, "What happened? Where's Irena? Where's Vasili? Are they okay?"
Yeah, so let me sum up. No, there is too much. Buttercup, Mary, Humperdinck in little less than half an hour.
Amazing.
No, that's not what I say.
I understand. Vasili bad. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I guess we'll see you all soon.
Yep.
We're gonna
We'll
go
take about
recover from that.
Yeah, we'll take 10 to 15 minutes on Twitch. If you're following on YouTube, it'll be over in a split second. Just take a drink and all that, but we will be right back.
Do place your bets on whether or not the DM is getting cursed out this time too.
I know what I'm betting on.
Oh, it's so sad.
Welcome back. We are back from our break, and I think the emotions have settled a little bit after that big revelation.
I'd still like to know where
little.
Irena and Vasili are. They hurt.
So, just before our break, our heroes arrived at Kresk and wanted to visit the shrine. Vasili wanted to visit the shrine together with Irena. They did, and the brother of Strahd appeared and spoke to Irena, who he referred to as T'Challa. After which Vasili showed his true nature, being Strahd, and whisked Irena, or T'Challa, away to wherever he whisked her to, and leaving our three heroes alone near this shrine, and hopefully full of questions. Guys, what is your next move?
I need to find Irena and Vasili. They've got to be around here somewhere. They might be hurt.
Let me catch you up, John. Vasili just turned into Strahd and took Irena with him. There you are. Now we're all on the same page. Hala, what just happened?
Carla's up at the shrine. What is this figure here?
It's just decoration.
Just decoration? Okay, she's going to turn
Yeah,
back and look at him. She'll be like, I don't know if he was Strahd the entire time, or if just then he did. But
Wait.
we failed. She's gone. We failed. What do we do now? We have to get her back. I mean, can we?
Oh, we. Strahd, really?
Yes.
The guy in the
Yes,
castle.
and I'm going to minor illusion show sort of like what just happened to John.
A PowerPoint presentation.
He's just like,
I'm going to-
yes, I'm with you now.
I want to yeah, no, like I show him kind of what happens, it kind of comes out, and you can see like in Carla's head, Strahd is like 7 foot tall, blazing eyes, just the evilest, ugliest face. Like she's definitely
Bloody
exaggerating
fangs and
his
all that.
features. Yeah, and it's just and just bringing that forward. It's like this is what happened. We failed, and we have to go make it right. I don't know if we can do it now because I mean, he.
All right,
he just
that
walked into the
word is
village.
that word is particularly upsetting to me. Failed? Did we fail? I mean,
Wait, so
She's not safe.
do we know he's a vampire? Because we just know he's Strahd, right? Like, we know Vasili turned into Strahd, but
There's some subtle indications here and there, but to be truthful, no, there's no real reason why you know. You might assume, but there's no reason to know just yet. No.
Because, yeah, as far as John knows, Strahd is just kind of a standoffish, noble with a really shoddy chapel. So,
I feel there's no one in the world that has played Strahd thus far, and this campaign has been around for a couple of years, that has referred to Strahd as what you just did. I love it.
Probably true.
So, okay. So Vasili was what? Disguised as, or
Shady as fuck. I told you both the whole time. Oh, I could just tell there was something wrong with him. But you know what's weird about that is that I actually don't know how I feel about Strahd yet. You know, my mother liked him.
well, I mean, we know where he lives, right? Are you
Sure,
saying?
John. Do you want to just storm the castle then? Should we leave now?
I mean, he seemed.
I was kidding.
Can't.
I was kidding.
He seems kind of.
I'm gonna punch John.
Well, he seems kind of, not necessarily rude, just cold. But we've met plenty of on the colder side nobles. Hell, my own dad is kind of an asshole. But I mean, I'm sure if he rules these lands, he's reasonable enough to talk to. Maybe there's some misunderstanding.
He killed his brother. He killed his brother. And did that happen, or did I imagine that? His brother said he
I think
killed him.
the implication was very much there that he had whoever this. What was her name? Tatalia? Maybe we need to find out more about
Shana?
her.
Did
Tachana.
Tachana?
Do you think we should tell the Kreskoff guy, the
What if
burgomaster?
he kicks us out now that we're not with Vasili?
Tell me what here
shit.
behind you. As the Burgermeister, with a sizable army, approaches on the road.
Oh, God!
Well, it turns out that Vasili was Strahd in disguise.
And I bring up the minor illusion to show him. This is what happened.
PowerPoint presentation. All right, so you see here.
Pulls out a little easel and yep. Oh,
We were
amazing.
just here. We were here to bring her to safety, and when we got here, this happened. And look at this. If you notice right here, you'll notice that he's quite ugly and evil and doesn't respect women. Please.
As you can see from our histogram, the percentage of times that he was.
Yeah, I'm actually while the PowerPoint presentation is happening, I'm gonna look for any other exits or any other ways to get the fuck out of here.
How can we make this quarterly presentation more quarterly? Love it. All right. Fair question. Looking around you, there's not really another way to escape to. However, you have a good passive, as we learned this session. You are looking around. There's the lake, of course, that you could potentially dive into. There's the road that is currently being blocked by an army almost, and the Burgermeister. Between the tree lines, there is the rocky outcropping of a bit of mountain upon which the abbey is resting. So the abbey has walls around it, but towards the village, it's just standing on like a cliff side. If you're into rock climbing, that might be an escape. But those are really the only options.
I think John's going to try to step forward and just talk to him very, very plainly. And say, we came here with Vasili and Irena. We were told that Irena was fleeing on account of Strahd having killed her brother. Apparently, there was some vendetta between the two. Vasili came to us in Barovia and offered to take Irena to somewhere safe, which we later found was here in your abbey. On our way here, we never suspected anything, and you seemed to greet him as a friend. Did you know that Vasili was actually someone else entirely? Strahd?
You see the Burgermeister just listening to your story and pondering while you're doing that. And he says, I don't know what happened here, but I let strange faces into my town. The one that I know and trust is Vasili, who has been coming here for years. I let you in. I let you approach the most sacred part of my village. The Abbey Forgiven, of course. And we hear a loud bang. I come here, and both Vasili and that girl he was with are gone. If you'd be in my shoes, what would that make you think?
Time to open up an investigation.
Exactly.
We would be your primary suspects.
Exactly.
Where's that fellow in the shrine that saw the whole thing? There was a guy. There was a man. He gestures back to the shrine. There was a man standing there, saying.
Burgermeister looks into the shrine, and all he sees is the decorative mannequin that is standing there. And he says, "You're delusional. That's a statue."
Trust me, he had hair.
There was a reason why it's there.
All right, listen. Clearly, there's been a misunderstanding. If you must open an investigation, I propose that we stay in the Abbey until you've concluded it.
Yes. I have a different approach. If you are a stranger to my village, you can wait outside the village. Right now, not only are you a stranger to this village, but you're also under suspect. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Do you like pie?
No.
Damn.
I'm going to point at him. I'm going to, in his head, he's going to hear, a young girl's life. Her life is ruined because of you. And I'm going to pin the blame on him.
And within a second, you hear a message coming back. And if I don't do anything about the situation right now, the lives of more than 100 young men and women will be at stake. I know when to pick my battles. Get out of my town.
Let's go.
Do you have any spare tents? Do you have any spare tents? As Carlos starts pulling them away.
What? He says as you're being escorted towards the end of the town.
It's so cold out there. Yeah.
You fix this up token wise.
Yep.
There we go. I'll bring you guys to the edge.
Okay.
It'll be a little quicker. There we go. Boop.
What time is it right now?
It is past sundown. It's dark outside. Up on the wall, the Burgermeister appears again, and he says, "Know that I do this because I love and care about the people that live within these walls. I'm going to go to the bottom of this, and I will find out what happened. Until then, know that you are under suspect, but I do not treat you as enemies. However, I cannot grant you entry to this town until I trust you."
Did you say there was an inn up the road?
We have an inn in our town. The next available inn would be in Vallaki.
We don't need it. We don't need that in. We will see ourselves out. You are making a huge mistake. I understand.
I mean, this place looks actually rather defensible. Do you think it might be wise to set up camp against the walls and maybe make a little fire?
Actually,
if there were
I think I can keep us safe while we sleep. I'll tell you about it when we get a bit farther from here, though.
All right. Can you? And he holds out the weapon to cast light on it, or something to cast light on it.
I can do better than that, and I will snap, and both of you can see in the dark. And then Kasariel just walks away, just under her breath, just, that bastard, how he kicked me out of a town. How dare you, you son of a bitch. Unbelievable, just she's pissed.
As you guys move away, a guard motions over to the Burgermeister and reaches for his ear and just says something way out of audio range. You see the Burgermeister holding both of his hands on the edge of the wall, and he says, "Adventurers, one more moment."
Yes, sir.
I'm not one to cut deals, but I will get to the bottom of this, but perhaps we can make an arrangement that would expedite the trust that I can give in you. I hate to ask this, but the one thing my town misses is wine.
I thought you were going to say pies.
The wine deliveries have been late, and the town's wine reserves are drying up. If you help us out in finding out what is up with the wine deliveries, perhaps I can speed up the investigation a bit in your favor. I understand if you don't want to. You've been ejected out of my town. I can imagine you'd never want to return here again. Just know that if you do, that offer stands.
I have a...
Get the wine. Sorry, what?
I was going to say, I have a bit of a request, a counter request. If we're going to be working with you in your town, it would do you no good if we are slain on the road in the middle of the dark, in the middle of the night. If you were to post a guard or two, would it be reasonable to have a room at the inn just for one night so that we aren't in these conditions?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh my. Okay, I got a 16 on the die, and that is 19 total.
The reason I am married to my wife is because every once in a while she reminds me of the fact that we need to believe in what is good, because as soon as we lose that, we lose sight of what is good. I will grant you that one night, but you will be gone before the sun comes up.
Of course. Thank you. It's very
The
gracious.
doors are reopened for you.
All right. I'm going to try not to say anything else to piss this guy off.
As you move through the gates, you notice that two guardsmen escort you to the inn.
Cool. Worth. No. All right. I guess we will go in and Carla, at this point, I think I defer to you.
You see, for the first time since you've known her, Carla looks out of it. She doesn't look like she's in her head thinking about something. She doesn't look like she's looking at something far away and not paying attention to you. She looks like dead stared as she's just being led by you.
He's gonna, as they're walking along, he's gonna lean down and say, "Are you all right? You've always been so energetic. Are you okay?"
In his head, he'll hear, "If Strahd took Kasariel, if you felt like you had failed your mission to protect her, after promising to protect her, how would you feel?"
then you hear right back in your head, I'd get her back. No hesitation.
Kind of nod at him and I'm gonna go, I'll be fine. Nice rest. Good job, by the way. You know how to talk to this guy.
He seems like me. Doesn't have very complex. He's got a task and he does it. And I'll follow. And I mean, if he does want us to work with him, we were heading to the Wizard of Wines anyway, right? But
Yes.
we can't do much if we're dead.
Very true.
There's a
And
couple of
damn, the
wooden
wine.
steps. There's a couple of
Market's
wooden
good.
steps towards the entrance.
I'll nod to the guards as we walk through.
Right. The inn itself looks basically just like a house with a couple more beds in it. It's cozy in a way. I don't want to call it run down because it's not that bad. It's just old. Almost equally as old as what you would assume is the proprietor of this inn. Near the dining table, there's an old man with a large, bushy white beard that stands up as you come in and he says, welcome. I'm Darovich. Welcome to Darovich's inn. How can I help you?
Room for 3 for the night. The guards will have to watch us on request of your Burgermeister.
Yes, that's fine. Bets go for 1 gold each. So that would be 3 gold.
Carla hands it over.
I would assume you like a room with a bit more privacy. He turns around and he points at the door towards the east. And as he turns around, you hear like a thump, thump, thump as he turns around. If you look down at what's making the noise, you notice that he has a wooden leg. It says, through that door is a room with 3 beds. Feel free.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you have any food or water or anything available for purchase or part of the stay?
The water is in the barrel over there near the door. For food, I can make some stew for you, but I'd have to go get it. I will be right back if you'd want that.
If it's not too much trouble, that'd be very appreciated.
Of course. I will be right back, he says, and he walks outside.
I'm gonna get like a bucket or a cup or something. Bring some water in, so we'll have water and food.
This window here, does it look like it could be unlatched? Could it be opened?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Well, I don't like being treated like a prisoner or a criminal.
I understand. I do understand that if someone came into our ranks, into the Silver Order, and there was, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I didn't want to risk being out on a night like this. If we can avoid it, if it's unavoidable, we can make do. But Carla, I think Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Even though this happened, we lost her. I don't think, from what you've told me, I don't think Strahd means to kill her. So
No.
we probably have some time to work up a way to as far as I'm concerned, this escort mission has become a rescue mission.
Why would he
Who's
choose
taking
here?
on?
Because of his brother. He wanted to flaunt her in front of his brother before he stole her away.
Yes. Is his brother buried here? Is his brother attached to here somehow to say that his spirit is here? How many times has this woman been reincarnated? How many women have gone because he wants to boast to a man who's already dead?
I'm sorry that I wasn't there when it happened. I got distracted. I thought this was a safe place. I thought we were amongst friends and good company, and I just, the lake was so serene. I lost myself a
Okay.
bit.
I thought we were safe too. It's fine.
Listen, Irena told us that she'd been friends with him for a long time. There was no way we could have known this would happen.
I
So, it's not our fault.
We should. I would like. If we could endeavour to try and get her back, to try and perhaps reason with him to free her. But I don't know if. I mean, if he was able to parade around as Vasili with no effort, if he could. If he has the hold on this land that he does, then. I don't know if we're ready to make that and not come out of it
No,
dead. So I
don't
think
forget-
we'll need time. But I would like if it was put on our list.
You might still know where my mother is.
Yes.
And
So we do have to talk to
like-
him anyway.
Yes. I thought I might ask the people in the Abbey here, but I suppose we cannot.
Well, you still could. What I did to her, I can do to you as well. I can make you invisible. You could go and talk to him for a little bit.
I don't. I feel perhaps an invisible person talking to them might make him a bit put off.
Or if you want, I could make you invisible and you could visit the Abbey. Maybe look through a couple of the documents there, or I could do it.
I
You'd
could just
like.
kill the guards at the door.
I'll do it if you'd like.
Of
Just
course,
to look,
they-
just before we go.
I don't think we'll make a very good impression on this town if we're going to start. I mean, the guards are
Yes.
just doing their jobs right now.
You're right, I know. I was just talking out loud. There's no brainstorming now. A brainstorming.
there's no bad ideas at a brainstorming session. It's like,
Oh, yes.
First option: what if we kill everyone?
No bad ideas. Okay, so maybe, yes, okay. I see where you're coming from. Then I guess priority number 1 is Wizards of Wine. Get wine, bring it back to here. And then maybe perhaps gain favour to get an opportunity for you to find out more about your father, potentially your mother, and gain an ally as well. That would be great, even though we know that this place has no real hold against Strahd.
You were saying earlier, Carla, that we need friends, and might be that now more than ever.
Question. Few things. This Burgermeister was friends with Vasili, for all intents and purposes, right? Like, I mean, they were old buddies. Also, he's the only noble person of real noble lineage in this land. So what does that mean? I mean, what does it mean that this town is not protected per se, right? Why does Strahd let this town exist if he's so evil?
Well, if he was in Vallaki as well, wasn't he? He had a home there. A nice one.
Oh, shit. All right, the mists didn't keep him out at all. Oh, right.
What I'm getting from this is we need to tell the other burgomaster that he's failing at his job.
Yes, angering another city would be good, I suppose. No. Let's get the wine supply, bring it back, hopefully gain a little bit of favor with this man, and by that time, hopefully there might be some evidence for us. If not, we can try and maybe find items or evidence along the way to bring to him as well. There might be other people who have encountered maybe Strahd in his Vasili form or changing form, recount stories, they help. Bring it back, gain an ally, and then plan from there, because currently if I think about saving Irena, I think about storming that castle, and I know that doesn't end well for me or any of us. But it's what I want to do currently if I think about it.
I mean, you can be invisible. You might be able to sneak in. I don't know. I probably wouldn't be able to.
I saw her, I think. When I turned her invisible, I turned her invisible to try and save her, and I think he saw her. Anyways.
Do you think we should try to read a bit more in that book of ours?
Yes, I was going to study it before bed. See if there's any answers about Sergei.
John's sort of clutching the little doll that you made of him, and just thinking.
Let's maybe this time, if the book should happen to pull us into a dream, don't try not to hurt anyone of the Arjunvas persuasion, right? Because I'm not so sure which side is the enemy, but I'm beginning to think it's the one we're on.
Very well. I'm going to pull out the book and kind of just curl up a little bit and start reading to try and decipher it.
John just lays down. It's been a long day. Okay. Oh wait, do we get stew?
The stew's getting cold in the meantime, so.
Cute.
Oh.
Casario, what are you doing?
As Carla reads the book, I'm kind of like just right next to her, just ready for anything. Yeah, I'm maybe even reading over her shoulder. I don't think I can read it, but I'm just trying to.
To you, it looks like gibberish. And honestly, this time, to Carla, it's much the same thing. There's a word here or there that she thinks she might pull out of it, but, I mean, it has been a very long day. It doesn't feel like you're going anywhere, so... How long do you spend on that book, Carla, this time?
I'm going to spend 3 hours on it.
You spent the full 3 hours trying to decipher anything that could give you a lead into like what this story is about. Doesn't feel like there's anything there. You want to close up the book to get some sleep, and as you close the book, there's one final thought that lingers in your mind, like, hey, what if? You open the book back on a page that you had your thumb, and you flip a bit more, and that last lingering thought that you had seems to make sense. And you flip another page and another page, and suddenly you notice that the book itself is starting to get a little warmer in your hand. And for all three of you, you notice that the room around you is slowly starting to spin away into complete darkness.
Here we go.
Not
Another chapter.
again.
No!
Seatbelts, everyone.
When the mists pull back, you find yourself in a familiar courtyard that you've seen before. Not too long ago. It just looks a lot newer than the last time you've been here. But you are dead certain that you are standing at the gates of Castle Ravenloft. If you look down and around you, you notice that you're still wearing that same armor that you were wearing the last time that you were sucked into this book. Apparently still lieutenants. The fact that you helped out Strahd pretty well didn't give you a promotion last time. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, we didn't do our job. That was the problem. We stayed back to help.
Exactly. You can you can still hear Rahadin like mumbling about that. Like, I'm even going to give orders.
I give orders. I expect them to be followed.
Walking through the gates, together with the company around you of Castle Ravenloft, it looks like this. Like the castle looks imposing. It did the first time you actually visited it outside of the book. There's a certain like imposing power that like radiates from this castle. The large walls made of thick stone. That's all there. What's different is this looks like it's been freshly built. The garden looks well kept and new. There's bushes that are being kept in nice little half stone walls. There's drapes hanging from the entrance. Everything is made as if it's ready to be delivered to its master. Looking around you, you see two very familiar faces that you've seen before. For Rahadin and Alexandra Quillim are standing next to you. Your earlier generals that asked you to join them in battle. But there's also two new faces next to you. An older gentleman with white hair and another old gentleman with gray-white hair wearing a large mantle that looks religious. You notice that they're also looking around as if this is their first visit to the castle. And they have that same sense of awe. While you're looking around, you hear a voice in your head that says, "My army settled in the valley, renamed for my father as we took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice."
I look to Rahadin and is it Alexandra? The other general?
Alexandra is her name. Alexandra Gwilym.
Right, Alexandra Gwilym. I look at them just to see what their general demeanor is, because they're the ones I know.
They hold their military composure to a degree, but they look like they've been awestruck by how well constructed this castle is.
I look
And
at
they're just
Sariel and
looking
Carla.
around.
Like, to get... This is new for them too, right? Are we all here?
Yeah, because Carla's definitely like, eyes are like darting around the place and kind of noting, trying to like mentally note sort of like the layout of this place. Not in the way that Casariel and John would, but just in the way of like, is this like the Castle Ravencroft that we know? That kind of thing.
Shall we enter then?
The gentleman in the religious robe turns to you and he says, "Perhaps we should when the Lord comes out again. We can wait here. I understand your eagerness, but let's give it a moment."
Of course.
What time of day is it? Does it seem?
It's hard to say, as the weather is rainy and cloudy. Even though rainy and cloudy is something you've gotten accustomed to in Barovia, this is a different kind of rainy and cloudy. It's like actually rainy and cloudy rather than just a continuation of the last day. This is just a day that just happens to be rainy and cloudy. Through that, you notice that it's probably later on in the afternoon. Rahadin turns to the man with the robes on, and he says, Andral, perhaps when we have seen the rest of the castle, we should have a look at the chapel. I expect that would be something that interests you. The gentleman turns to Rahadin and says, that is something for Strahd to decide, I imagine.
Did he say Andal?
Andral, yes.
Andral.
As in
Like
the bones of Andral? Yes, that one.
John would have said this had it not been for Carla's constant telling him to stop saying things like this, but he wanted to say, you're going to have a fantastic church built after you one day. But
Oh,
Are you considering saying that, or are you actually saying that?
he's considering saying it, but he's like, no. She'll probably get mad at you.
are you trying to make decisions for our lord, Rahadin? I'm going to say to him after him trying to convince Andral to go to the chapel.
Rahadin turns to you and says, but of course not. I was simply implying that we can all utilize our talents in different ways, and we should not waste time.
Well, I mean, the war is won. Would we not take time to enjoy the beautiful visage as we wait for our lord? And I'm kind of just testing the waters to see if the war is won. If this is after or before.
Your eagerness is noted, Lieutenant. And with that, I advise you to take a moment to reflect on what you've just said.
Very well. My apologies.
I tend to
I'm going to give a little bit of a bow and then just go towards John and kind of like stay by him because like discomforted here.
Are we, sir, are we here on inspection, or I seem to have forgotten the meaning of this visit.
You asking this to
Rodney,
Rahadin?
yeah, as a superior officer, so to speak.
Yeah. Rahadin turns to you, John, and says, we are here to give a first inspection to the castle, to accompany the Lord as he does so, and from there on, I imagine we will have to visit all the villages that are now ours, to tell them of their new Lord and his ruling. The man in the white hair speaks up and he says, yeah, and, we should also keep an eye out for that assassin that Willem was talking about. All right, Willem? She turns around, like, annoyed, and she says, that assassin is just silly. We captured this guy. Had a dagger on him. He said that he wanted to murder our lord. We found him. We're done. No, that's a decoy. That's a decoy. That's not the real one. You know that. You call yourself a general? Come on. See, this is why you need me. This is why you need me. You think it's way too straight lined. Much more difficult than that. Assassins never come alone. They work for something. You're
awfully confident about that. I mean, It's not like you were the person who sent them, right? And as I say, right, can I cast Charm Person? Is that possible within here?
You could try.
Yeah. Right, as I say, right, I'm trying to cast Charm Person. So that is a DC 14 Wisdom save.
He saves that with a 40.
Wait, what?
40.
Holy crap!
That's
This guy's
insane.
pretty wise.
Retreat! Fucking retreat!
Right, and
Tempo.
you could see like the air around the words kind of fizzles a little bit as it like that spell tries to come towards him into his ears and take hold, but it's like an impossible barrier that just fucking pushes it away, and she just kind of.
That is exactly what it does. Well picked up.
Just a suggestion. I'm trying to break the mood. It's gotten quite dire for such a happy day.
You know, I understand that. We've had a couple of difficult days. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. Who are you?
Lieutenant Lavender Cobblepot. Pleasure to meet you.
Cobblepot, huh? Not from around here, then.
An outside specialist. Very
Right.
politically oriented.
Right. Well, at least we got something in common, then. Name's Desilnia. Leo Desilnia. Also specialist. Kind of an outsider. Now an insider. You know how it goes.
Yeah. I know.
I may
Pleasure
ask.
to meet you. And I'm going to hold out my hand and see if he shakes it.
He does. And firmly so.
Fabulous.
Is this guy a tall or like what's his build? Is he physically imposing or okay?
He's sleek. The one thing you're missing on him, like he's wearing rather regal clothing that makes him look like someone of importance. But the weird thing is, if you would have like stripped him bare and then like decided like to play dress up with him, like what you put on him, he would have totally worn like a black cape and a hood and be sitting in a corner like. That's totally the vibe you're getting from this guy.
This coming from a guy wearing a black cape and a hood.
Called out. So, seeing as he'll engage with me a little bit, Carla's actually going to sidle up to him a little bit and be like, so outside, I mean, if I'm being too bold, let me know, but whereabouts?
Oh, I mean, lived here all my life, this area, but never really connected with, you know, the ones in charge. But, you know, the Strahd guy, different.
He's savvy.
I like him.
He's new.
Yeah.
Is he wearing clothes reminiscent of Vistani?
It's the same kind of style, but way too luxurious for a Vistani.
Oh, you had the pleasure of meeting the Lord in person?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you did too, right? We walked together over here. Have you forgotten that already, huh?
You know, but you know, one-on-one, I haven't gone to do that.
Yeah.
Are we?
What is Date Andral doing? Or Andral?
No point.
He's Andral is still like sort of like looking around. He's like awestruck at like the immense size of this castle. So he's just looking around.
He looks like he's here of his own free will, and
Yeah, absolutely. He looks like he's very much part of the leading party that walked here.
I'm gonna turn around and look out the gate. Is like there carriages or anything that had seemed to have been parked outside?
Not carriages, but horses.
Okay.
Yeah, enough horses to accommodate everyone here.
Is Strahd amongst them, or so essentially I'm trying to get the feel for, are we waiting for him to catch up, or did he go ahead and coming back to get us?
As you wonder about that, you see that the doors of the castle in front of you slam open again, and from there, a young Strahd strides out of the castle. And he looks at the three of you, and of course the accompanying people around you. The unnerving silence that you had around you, other than the little talks that you've had, are suddenly interrupted by the fact that he walked outside and unsheaths a dagger. The dagger looks exquisite, that you can see from the distance that you're standing right now. It is black and red and gold. It is finely crafted, and the hilt leads to a sinister curved blade. Strahd kneels near the side of the path, and with his left hand, he grabs a handful of soil. And he stands back up with the dirt just crumbling from his hand. He points the tip of his dagger briefly to the north, and to the east, and to the south, and then finally to the west, before plunging it into his mud-caked palm with quite a bit of force. A mixture of dirt and blood falls onto the pavement in front of him. He squeezes his hand and he says, "I am Strahd. I am the land." He repeats this mantra 3 more times, once in every cardinal direction of the compass. And then he looks at the clouds above him and he says, "Draw near and witness. I, Strahd, am the land." Blood and magic meet the soil, and the sky around you is swallowed. The area around you turning black. And for a moment, you have no idea where you are. And that means that I have to quickly move your tokens. So give me 1 second. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, hang on. There we go. There we are. Does that reveal the room over there? It should, but
It does, yes.
just want to make sure. All right, wonderful. All right.
Did he summon us over here, or how? Oh, all of us. Okay, cool.
What happened is while you saw what he did with the blade in his hand and everything, you've experienced that. The world around you just turned black, and once you noticed like what happened, the world reemerges, and you're inside the castle somewheres, and it seems like you're sort of in a library. What feeble light burns in the dimming fireplace is enough to fill the room with rolling waves of red and amber light, illuminating rows and rows of ancient books, their leather covers well oiled and preserved through careful use. Large gaps span segments of the shelves, likely left to fill in more knowledge. A stone floor is concealed beneath a thick, luxurious rug. In the center of this room is a large, low table, waxed and polished to a mirrored finish. Even the poker in its stand next to the burning fireplace is polished. A sturdy carved desk houses several scrolls of parchment, open books, and candles burned nearly to the wick. In one of the 2 chairs, crafted of burgundy-colored wood with padded leather seats that face the hearth, is Lord Strahd von Zarovich. His head rests sorrowfully in his left hand. A letter gripped tightly in his other. You're standing at the back of this room, and you see this happening.
My lord? Is all well?
He gives you no response.
I'm gonna.
No response, like they can don't know that we're here. Didn't hear me.
You've no idea. He didn't respond to you.
I'm gonna approach Andral.
Yep.
And nod to him as I approach. Does he acknowledge me?
He does not.
Is something wrong with Lord Strahd? Is everything okay?
As you say, is everything okay? At the mentioning of the word okay, Gabriel Andral just talks right through you, and he says, I am sorry, my lord, that you'd had to get this news through a letter. It is unfortunate, and it must be a lot to bear after your recent victories and good tidings. I felt the need to bring you this news personally. Strahd angrily looks up from his chair, and while he isn't crying, you have a feeling that he's not far from it. And he looks angrily at Andral and he says, I have prepared everything for her arrival. And now this happens. I never get the luck that the people around me get. I always have to fight twice as hard as everyone else. And what do I get in return? This. There is no way for me to be successful if this keeps happening. And I do not know what. If my father follows after, I do not know what to do. It's hard to assess, but there's a certain tension in the room.
I'm gonna look back at Carla and Casariel and sort of shrug, like, I don't think they can see us.
If they can't see us, or like, Kyla's going to try and just like approach a little closer towards Strahd and really watch his reaction to see if he notices her at all. Nothing.
No reaction to
and
her.
as soon as she gets close enough, she's going to try and read over his shoulder what's on that letter.
The letter is tightly gripped in his fist. There's no way that you can read it at the moment.
And I'm just going to enjoy the sight of him nearly in tears. I'm going to just wait. I'm going to hold an opportunity until I can try and see that letter or grab it, one or the other. Like if he chucks it down or something. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm kind of standing behind him waiting for that.
Gabriel looks at Strahd and says, perhaps the Morning Lord will have the answers that you might need. I understand that this is a troubling time, but if you would accompany me to the new chapel, I have just seen it and it's rather marvelous. Perhaps a moment of communion with the Morning Lord might ease your pain. And from there we can look at the next steps. Will you accompany me to the chapel? Strahd again lifts his head and looks at Gabriel Andral and says, praying for something that has transpired already in the hopes of changing it about. I'd rather have that power myself, but I see no other option. I will humor your request in the hope that at least it will shut you up. And he stands from his chair, dropping the letter next to him on the table.
Let's say.
And follows Gabriel out of the library. The room is empty, other than you three.
Carla immediately picks that letter up.
As you should. Looking over the letter, Carla, it is written by and dated from another place than Barovia. The date is from more than 400 years ago. The heading and the naming is from a place that you've never heard of. But the message in the letter is very clear. The mother of Strahd, Queen Ravanovia, had passed away during her travel towards Castle Ravenloft. And as such, she will unfortunately not be able to visit in the flesh. The message is short and concise, but nonetheless very clear. Strahd has apparently just lost his mother.
It appears he lost his mother, and I hand over the letter to Xariel. I'm going to head back to her and hand it over. And as I'm sort of passing there, I'm going to take a stop at the desk and start sort of like rooting around for anything interesting on it to give her time to read it.
On the desk?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Give me an investigation check.
Okie doke. Where's my dice? That's an 11.
11. There's the usual paraphernalia that you would find on a writer's desk. Other than that, you notice that there are a couple of spell components on here that might be used in magic. They're not exactly the type of items that you would use in your spells. If you'd want to sell them, they might be worth something, but they don't look worth more than 2 to 3 gold.
I know that all that we've ever really gotten out of here is specific items, so I don't think I want to take anything. Alright, so if that provides nothing, I'm going to kind of head to the shelves then and start rooting around.
The volumes around the library are numerous, and it feels like they cover pretty much any topic you would expect in a castle library. So things on the local botany, things on the local insects, a bit of information on like strategy and warfare, usual. The books themselves look pretty well kept after, but they also look pretty pricey.
Yeah, nothing really interesting there for me, so I'm going to turn back to the two of them and say, what are we seeing when we come in here? What is causing this?
As you ask that, John is over in the corner doing this. Is this like being what a ghost is like? He's trying to like interact with things. Okay. But no, basically he's like, I can see myself. I can see you. They can't see us.
Is it a vision, a shared hallucination? Are we transported to another place? I mean, we did see someone with proof that, well, over 400 years ago,
we were
murdered
talking to
someone,
them, in fact.
and we saw them.
I think we're in the book. The history of. I think we're living it somehow. This is what all the adventurers do that come to this land. It's part of the, initiation, something like that.
Is this what reading's always like? I typically don't deal with books unless I have to.
If you have a very good imagination, it is.
But have other adventurers gotten this? They hardly put it back in the same place for people to find.
Oh.
Are we the first?
Where
Are
did
we
we
the only
get
ones that
this?
knows this? In his chapel. It was
Do you
hidden.
think many people have been there?
I don't know.
It looked in a terrible state of disrepair when we were there. I doubt many people are using it, especially him.
So he conquered these lands, and he seemed to perform some sort of ritual to claim them, to make himself part of it. You saw it, the blood, the dirt. It was evil arcane energy, I believe.
Look rather unholy.
But now he's lost his mother, and he claims that he has no luck, that he has to fight for everything.
The man is a lord of a land.
We saw his childhood. It wasn't as if he had nothing or he came from nothing. What does that mean? What does...
Was the door latched or in a way that John can like push it open just to see if he can peek out?
The door is closed, but not latched, so it's just closed.
He's gonna push it open to see if he can see them like walking away in the distance, or like what is beyond this door. He wonders.
As you open up the door, you stand face to face with Strahd. And he walks back into the room, right through you.
What does it feel like?
Like a gust of wind, but more violating than that, basically.
I feel violated.
Strahd walks over to the chair where he was sitting earlier, and he looks at the table. And you see him stopping his gaze and then turning around and locking eyes with Carla. Are you still holding the letter, or did you leave it there?
I gave it to Casariel.
Oh. From looking at Carla, his eyes dart to Casariel. Casariel, are you still holding the letter?
Yeah, she was just mulling over this letter, thinking lots of thoughts. She looks up and...
He's looking at you, and he walks straight at you. And he stands in front of you. And then walks back to the fireplace. Without saying a word, he steps into the fire. And you see him touching a part of the back wall. The door opens up there. And he walks through.
Carla's going to try and follow him.
You can. The fire doesn't hurt you.
This is... Oh, you read... Okay.
Did she just walk into fire? Did he just walk into fire? Is this fire?
Sure.
He's gonna step into the fire and see if it hurts.
It doesn't.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Behind the fireplace seems to be a false treasury.
Oh.
On the table, there is a rather interesting looking lockbox, and around the table itself are piles of gold coins, easily a couple of thousand.
Ching.
Carla's going to look at the lockbox.
Looks ornate and really pretty. It's about the size of a shoebox.
Does it have a lock on it, or can I open it?
It seems like it's a latch.
I'm gonna flick it open, see what's inside.
It does. It flicks open, and there is indeed no lock. You can open it.
I'm looking around for Strahd. He walked into this place. He's not. Is there any sign of a way out of this place?
No,
Other
this is
than
just a one-way room. As a matter of fact, it's actually no-way room because it's hidden.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Okay.
Little
What?
Slow. I'm just. You should check for traps.
Don't do it,
As she
Carla.
goes-
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
gonna do it.
Do it. So you open it up. In the lockbox itself, there is 37 silver, 162 gold. Other than that, there's a couple of items. And believe you me, I'm going to roll for that.
Roll good. One time in the whole campaign, I'll ever tell you that.
Well, roll
Okay.
bad for you and good for us.
Yes, correct.
The dice have decided.
Oh boy.
Inside the lockbox, other than this money that I just mentioned,
Got
which I hope
homework.
you've written down.
Oh yes.
Good.
Don't worry.
There is a pocket watch. And as you have the feeling right now, it is about midnight. The pocket watch is running backwards.
Time machine, perhaps.
Secondly, there is oh, hang on, that's the wrong one. There we go. There is a bunch of nails, as in metal nails, that seem to have been taken from a used coffin.
Ah. Right.
Third, there's a vial of perfume in there. Carla, you recognize the smell of the perfume.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. From your colleague.
No.
Violet?
Lavender. Oh,
Oh, sorry. Lavender. That's the
Cobblepot?
violet. Lavender Cobblepot. Yeah, it's her smell.
I immediately take that and I'm going to like inspect the bottle. Like, does it have all of the usual markings of her use? You know, like with her nail
This is her
polish
bottle.
chips off.
100%. It's about like a quarter used.
I like clutch it. Can I pick it up? Can I clutch it?
Yeah, you can.
It's lavender's. Like. Yes, my friend. My best friend.
Well,
She.
It's probably not, because do you remember John got that picture that his brother had drawn, but it could not possibly have been.
Oh, do you still have that? I wanted to look at that later.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
probably not.
maybe someone's messing with us. That
If he's
Take it
done
with the-
anything to her. If he has done anything to her. I don't care if he's good, if he's misunderstood, if he has done anything to her, I will. I'm going
Lastly,
to.
there's one more item in this box.
Yeah.
It's a metal key. It's a rather large metal key. And it's in the shape of something that you might recognize. It's kind of shaped of keys, like the large type that you'd see over here. It's the ones that are used to seal off family crypts. Has an inscription on it too.
they?
Silverbrow.
Xariel. Xariel. I hand it to her, seeing what it says.
I'll take it. This is not real. This is not real, and that is not real, and either is your brother's note. It's not real. My mother's alive. She's alive. I'm gonna put the key in my bag.
Okay. The world around you starts to feel
Gold!
woozy.
Oh yeah.
Gold!
Oh yeah. I as you've been describing this thing, I imagine what's happening is Carla's like taking it up and kind of keeping it, just kind of putting it away with the key. She takes it up and she hands it to Xariel.
I'm just like
Sure.
putting it everywhere. In my, in here.
Yeah.
In the breastplate. Scooping it up with a shield.
John's been feeling around the walls like, where could he have gone?
The world around you starts to look vague, turns black. You blink a couple of times, and looking around you, you notice that you find yourself once again back in the inn that you left yourself.
Kresk.
Looking outside the window, it is still the dead of night, but you have no idea what time it is. You hear Strahd's voice one more time, and he says, "Escape from the isolation of death was impossible. In my many years, I learned that the brightest days cast the darkest of shadow." John, that thing he just said resonates with you. And henceforward, you are able to cast the spell Gentle Repose once per dusk.
Okay, interesting.
Ooh, that is a big deal.
I like it.
When we sort of look into our pockets and stuff like that, is all the stuff that we took with us there?
The gold and silver you took from the lockbox is still there. The watch you took is running as it should.
Oh, forward?
Yeah, it's just running forward. The key to the crypt is still in your bag, but do you take it out to look at it?
Yeah.
It slightly warms up and then crumbles to dust in your hands. The vial of perfume that you found, Carla, must have been a mistake. It's just a vial of water.
The gold! What about
Yeah, I'm gonna like.
the shield?
What?
on
The
it.
breastplate?
What gold?
Dang.
Not there?
We
The
still
gold
got
that you
some.
found in the lockbox is there.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, the 57
yeah.
something silver and the 100 and something gold. That's
Yes.
yours.
Cool. Alright. I didn't like that. I don't know about you, but I didn't like how personal that was.
Told you it wasn't real.
Not bad. What did we learn from that? That Saint Andral, he was a person. 400 years ago, but a person.
Can
And
you?
he was
Sorry, can you repeat to me one more time the phrase that triggered the gentle repose thing? The darkest of days.
I'll
The
grab.
brightest of days cast the darkest of shadows. You better believe
That
it.
is.
I wrote it
Yeah.
down.
Oh, there you go. Oh, thank you. That is indeed what it said. The brightest of days cast the darkest of shadows.
Cool.
Drained from this adventure, I imagine you three would like to take a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
John was already laying in the bed, and this now he doesn't even like turn over or anything. He just pulls the covers up.
What about you, Carla?
Carla like closes up the book and like puts it back into her bag, and then she kind of looks at the vial of water a little bit and like cautiously like gives it a sniff, but you know, it's not that. So she corks it, and instead she like takes off her hat. Where did I even put my hat? But she like looks at it, and she looks
You
at like
took it
the inscribing on the inside that's like to Carla from Lavender, like very plain. But still, she kind of like thumbs over it a little bit and thinks of home, and thinks she thinks for the first time if finding the truth is worth it, if it's worth all this pain. Before kind of like putting away the hat and turning in for the night.
Saria?
I think Casariel, the key that turned to dust, she saves it. She saves the dust.
All right. It counts as iron powder, but if you want to use it for something, do you want to keepsake it, or do you want to actually use it for something?
Yeah, no, I want to keep it as iron powder.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and then she'll just, she has a whole nighttime routine, depending on what phase the moon is in. I'm just going to assume there's probably not great windows here, so she won't go into too much detail, but she does have a sort of a nighttime routine that she does. So from this point forward, we'll just assume that in the morning she wakes up, if she can, before the dawn and watches the dawn rise, and says her prayers to Lathander, and then at night she'll say her prayers to Selene before she goes to sleep.
All right. You say your prayers, and then also turn in for the night. And as you drift off to slumber, it's just one thing in your mind. And that is where we're going to end it for today.
In the darkness, a spirit of old, a righteous crusader of silver and gold, restless in the raft of
Oh man.
Just a quick pointer. I don't know if you guys recognize the voice that is singing this.
Is it you, Marissa?
Is it you? Wow.
That's amazing!
That is amazing. That is actually really amazing. I'm turning it up a little bit just so people can hear it a lot more.
His desecration, it can be reversed. His soul and his bones no longer cursed. Listen, heroes, to the words of my song. Bring back
As one of our amazing players would say, epic. Just epic.
That was fucking epic. That
Yeah.
was so good.
That was amazing.
That was incredible.
We'll see
Oh
how
my
that
God.
ties in. I don't even know.
That was really good. What did you say?
Said we'll see how it ties in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
That was really good.
Like, you did that.
Actually, it's we actually had somebody that song was composed for us for this campaign.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
That
But
is
yeah, we'll have the information for like the next
Yeah, that's awesome.
for the computer, but yeah.
it's that is. I literally cannot describe how amazing that is.
That was really cool. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, cool! Yeah, they found a professional song of this campaign. That's awesome." Like, oh shit!
No, this is created in-house with lovely
That's
voices.
awesome. See, this is what I'm talking about. I said at the beginning, highest production freaking thing ever. Sorry. Anyway,
Stream it on Spotify, guys.
yeah.
Oh my God.
If we hit certain goals, we can get to the point where we got a certain number of followers on this and YouTube, we might be worth. I'm just kidding. I'm not promising anything.
That's
That would be
incredible.
amazing.
You two should be so freaking proud of yourselves.
Yeah.
That was incredible. I can only imagine the little like scheming behind the scenes that went on.
With that, we're going to end it for today. And we will see you again next week to see where our heroes will bring it from here on out.
That was perfect.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're following us on Twitch, great. Thank you. If you're not, you should. And same goes for YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't followed us yet, click that subscribe button. Please.
If you have any friends or family who enjoy D&D but haven't had the experience yet, if you'd like to share, that would be amazingly appreciated.
Also comment.
And we will see you again next week with more Curse of Strahd. Oh my.
Clips
Gonna be
and
fun.
Instagram. Anyway, yes.
That too.
Love you guys.
Just point of information. I don't think we're going to be live next week. We have a pre-recorded, our second two-shot from before this campaign, our prequel, as it were, with Carla. I'm sorry, Anne as the DM. And Papa, aka Barry, playing a character, Dr. Ivar Daskalu.
Incredible guy.
that
Horrid
we're-
little creature. But I
last-
hope you
Very
guys liked
German.
it.
Yes.
yes. Last week you saw episode 1 where they were first sent into the keep on the keep of secrets and honed their skills together, and now you're going to see the epic finale of that 2-part adventure. Or this coming week will be released live on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time we normally stream.
Yes, and we'll
It'll
be
be
live on
absolutely
YouTube
amazing.
at that time. So
And finally, for all of you that might be visiting TwitchCon Amsterdam next week, which is the time of recording is going to be next week, I will be there as well. So feel free to seek me out. Other than the cape, I very much look like this, so you should be able to find me. I got some
bring
cool
the
business
cape, too.
cards and all that. So yeah, I should probably also just wear the cape.
Yeah.
You know, just
look for the man with the
exposure and all that.
silent mustache.
You need like red context as well.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
But if you are over there, seek me out, and I'd be happy to talk to you. So we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you coming Saturday, indeed, with part 2 of the pre-recorded, and the week after that, we will be back with more Curse of Strahd.
I
Until
believe
then.
the episode will be called Moonlight Above, Chaos Below.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Bye, everybody.